Afternoon that's turning into a bit of a negative one outside of the Dow holding on to positive territory currently as we head into the final 2 hours of not only today, but obviously the week. I just double checked. The Dow is still positive on the week as well, but the only one, the S&P and NASDAQ, both negative on the week after a couple of giant weeks to the upside. Probably to be expected. You saw the board there. Let's jump to it. Here's how things are shaping up with a couple hours left in the day. 0.07 for the S&P. Yeah, the Dow holding up nicely. 0.37 on some interest rate concerns and inflation recessionary concerns as well as we wrap up the week here. Tech downside 0.92 for the NASDAQ currently. We're dead flat here in Toronto. Big move up in oil today, 2% plus. You heard the guys mentioning there. XOM all-time highs today. Really nice move for a lot of the oil producers, as you'll see on this board. I'm going to show you in a couple seconds here on that move in crude. If you missed it, came on the back of Russia coming out this morning saying they're going to cut production going into the remainder of the year by, I think it was 500,000 barrels per day. So that caused, yeah, look at that. There it is. The entire energy group led by APA right now up 5.3%. But all of these producers having quite the day from 2.5 through to 5.3% back to the upside. DXCM earnings named today, 10.5%. Nice look. ALGN reported as well. They're down 3%. But healthcare stocks are positive. Tech is not and hasn't been for a while today. 5.5% for NVIDIA, leading as far as the chips are concerned. I saw Micron just pop up before we came on. 1% for Micron right now on this board anyways, but ENPH positive, 1.7 with a couple hours left to go. There's PayPal. We'll talk about that coming up. 2.7% downside. CRM having a rough ride as well. It's been a good week, though, for some of the software names. So 4% back downside for Salesforce. Expedia reported getting crushed 8%. All of the travel names down on that. 5.5 for Tesla. It's been a huge week, obviously, as we've been talking for Tesla, but giving some of that back today. But yeah, these energy producers having quite the day. XOM all-time highs today. NWS reported. Not good, obviously. Forecast was very bad. 8.6% for NWS. It's just the A-class shares and the regular shares, depending on what you want to look at. LYV, Netflix here, Match. They reported earlier in the week, 4.3%. Pretty mixed. 0.14 right now for the S&P as we head into the afternoon. Hope yours is going well. Let's get into a bit of a review, shall we, on what was available for some opportunities this morning. Make sure you're joining us every day at 8:30. We get you ready daily in the pre-market. Everything you need to know covered heading towards the open, including what Sean is going to lead us off with right now. Look at one of his trades.
Hey guys, thank you, Brendan. And yeah, today's trade of the day brought to you by Day Trade the World. Make sure you scan that QR code below and start your prop journey today as fast as possible. Do it right now. Okay, so we waited today. This is going to be a little different than what we normally talk about here on the trade of the day, but it's just a one-hit wonder. We're trying to make it real quick for you right now, and that is we went back to AMD. So kind of confusing. Here's the NASDAQ right here today. It's still down 1%, but really we started down 0.7. We actually got, I know Brendan was saying we almost got to green there. I think we were down like about 0.3 or so. We actually went green on the ES, of course, due to energy. But so trying to look for something to do, right? I mean, NVIDIA started to get strong, and I just went back to a name that I'm pretty comfortable with, and that's AMD. So when you're struggling to find a trade, always go back to something. For me, it would be Microsoft, AMD. We really like to trade, obviously. And then this is what we did. It was pretty simple. I just want to talk about it, and then we'll go. So we let it fall down here early, and then we had a whole bunch of trades, but we didn't trade AMD. Then in the midday, when we started to make lows again in the NASDAQ, I was like, okay, what stock can we go over to where we might be able to get a little bit of a bump up? And then again, we looked at NVIDIA being down 5%, AMD being down at this point down here like close to 3%. I just felt like if the market wanted to rally back, we did have a chance to pick something up at what was a predetermined low down here. So look, not only was it the low in the morning, I don't take too much of this into consideration because it's very up and down, but I'm looking at this combined with this range right here. So we actually start buying right here pretty early at the 50 period, just small like we normally do. And this is how I make my biggest trades of the day. When something actually falls in or rises up. And we had a good example of Microsoft rising up this morning before falling down. So this one falls back in right into the lap, right? We talked about with Michael Noss, like trade the smiley faces. Well, obviously we didn't know this was going to smiley face up, but when it's coming down like this and going right back into where we've been before, yeah, we do have that smiley face downside, right? There's the long there at 65, whatever it was. My out was right here at 50. It's 15 cents worth of risk. So boom, it back up to the upside. Our first outs are 80s. That's your 15 cents. Then it just extends all the way up. And we got pretty lucky there. That's 82. So we actually take out not the majority, but we take out another piece there at 82, kind of coinciding again with one of the top levels, but it was more because it was an $82 value level. Then we hold the rest, and now it comes back down. We get out of our last piece right there when it breaks through 81.50. I actually do have a small piece left right now, and we're trying to get more long down here, but we'll watch it. That was the key out right there. So we actually held 10%. You guys know that. So by the time this moved up, we had 20% left only. We got out of 10% there, and we held our last 10%. The minute we broke VWAP there, we got out of 5, and we're holding a little small piece now. But most of the outs up here were right here, 81.50. Why? Because we took down the 50 period, we took down VWAP, and then we just chilled at 81.50. And I mean, that was 90 cents in the money. So it's your trade of the day, and it's just for those of you maybe on PDT or something like that. Wait for the market to settle down, then give yourself an out that's reasonable for the amount of shares that you're taking. So it's your trade of the day, and it's AMD.
Great bounce off of key levels for AMD once again. It doesn't matter the time frame, guys. Michael Noss always talking about smiley faces on a daily time frame, but it doesn't matter. You can find them intraday as well. Everything you need to know was on that once again today. Make sure you grab that every single day. All you have to do is hit that, scan that QR code, go to watchlist.tradertv.live, enter your email address, just like Fahad did there. And you can have that for free every single day. Ton to look at this morning. As far as opportunities were concerned, we kicked things off this morning with this one. Ended up being a bit of a nothing kind of a trade, lift that is, to the downside in a big way off of earnings. We're just grinding along 1050, I guess it is right now, or just below 1050. But if you missed out on that little, this is what, a 3-minute chart? If you missed out on that little 10-minute move to the downside, there wasn't much to do today on a debacle of a report for Lyft.
Sometimes that'll happen. It's down, like 30-something%, and really you don't get as much action as you'd expected. I did try chasing or at least shorting the lows in there. I wasn't in there early trying to catch it at the open. I tried grabbing it when it took out the pre-market lows. Didn't really have any follow through. There was one shot maybe back into 11. I think the real story for Lyft, maybe, you guys see the daily chart. Maybe we'll see next week. Does it retest some of these bottoms, like down at 960? Maybe you catch a bit of a bid there. There's room to run, but I feel like you have to short pops, just given how bad and ugly this was. A lot of times you're looking for those earnings plays. You get to follow through. There was some good movement on Uber, but down over 30%. It didn't really squeeze enough to go jailbreak long. It didn't really give you enough flush to settle into a short. Sometimes you just have to accept the nothing burger that a stock might give you there. But I do think there's some interesting levels coming in. Like, if we get into next week below $10, suddenly you could be breaking, a pretty significant low on Lyft. It's 963, I believe. I'll double check that. But yeah, 963. That gets taken out. Yikes. This stock was $60 at the beginning of 2021. And it's not the only chart like this. There's a lot of charts that look exactly like this. But giving up all of that gain for 1 month, it went straight up with like 5 red days. And in 1.5 days, that's it. All those gains gone.
Oh, man. Yeah. What we talked about, look. If you were long Lyft, you had quite the move back up to the upside. There was an opportunity to get out. And I don't think anybody's actually going to be holding Lyft for a long period of time. And if you are, then, obviously today's just a bump in the road. And you'll see if you can get going. I just want to, I didn't talk about Lyft, and I do like that. I like the $10 long there on Lyft. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. If you're taking that shot in the dark, open your eyes and you can see it. It's $10 for Lyft. I just saw right now, and my bid is down here, so I put a bid. I was hoping that we might have got a bid down here as I was doing the trade of the day on AMD, but then I just sat down and was like, you know what? We're just as I was sitting up there doing it, I was like, we're barcoding here at 81. So I just put back on that 5% again that I got out right there. So let's see. Now my average price is obviously not going to be the same, so I just wanted to give you guys that. We were still long down here at 70, but right there, we just took another bid. I am waiting for another fall down here on AMD. So I just wanted to give that one to you. And the next one is pretty interesting, man. PayPal. We talked about that early. Let's go over to Brendan, get the details, then we'll talk about it when we come back.
It wasn't a great report for PayPal, but that announcement seemed to kick off a little bit of buying anyways out of the gate this morning. The CEO departing the forecast, a little bit above estimates as well. So quietly optimistic were some analysts I noted this morning on PayPal, guys, going into the remainder of the year. I mean, there's an interest rate side to this business, I guess. So there's that for PayPal.
Oddly enough, it wasn't a great report, but sometimes the market just decides we'll pick a part of the narrative and decide to like it. The CEO change, I know you were talking about that one, Sean. And early on, it was in an upward trend. So it looks like a pretty bad open, but if you were, and I can't erase this, all I can do is show you what happened at the open and how strong it was looking. It was showing you, okay, wick bottom, they sold some off, wasn't a great report, but it was holding green, and then a strong trend to the upside. Now, I didn't really notice the trend until here. Like the second time it bounced off of 80, I was looking at it and said, okay, well, this feels a lot like what NVIDIA did. Bought above VWAP, was scalping out, holding some. I reloaded it off that trend line after I drew it, and then it broke the trend. Like I got in right as I was showing it. It's like, okay, well, it's breaking the trend when I just reloaded this trade. Let's just go short because a trend break, where does it take you? I got two lots out here in front of 850, 8050. Probably should have only been one. Could have held that for a little bit deeper. But it retraces when it broke trend all the way back into the wick bottom at the open. That's where I got out. I think it's got support down there now. I don't want to be drawing another line, so let's do that. And maybe we found some support. I have no idea. But this does feel like, this does feel like a name that might go, if it holds 80 this afternoon and the market were to catch a bid, here's what I want to say. It might be a name that has a chance at a breakout later. Because if you look at the bigger picture, let me go to the 15-minute here. Let's go back. I love how the trend line stays from a 3-minute to a 15-minute. But if you look at the bigger picture, it had support in a double bottom at 78 on the 15-minute. And it's been making this nice little bit of a base. So if it's holding that, there's probably room to get back to 82 and still be an inside day. So it's up 2.5%. The trend got broken early. It then reestablished the bid. If it holds the higher low, okay, we've seen rallies late in the day before. Maybe we could get another one here, and then you have participation with PayPal. But I want to see it start to break out of this little range before I do anything on it. Sometimes you hit it and then quit it, and that's the way to go because there's not another opportunity there. I'll wait to see confirmation that we're going to the upside before I think about the longs above 80.
You know what we didn't talk too much about here today would be Bed Bath & Beyond.
It's
so
true.
Let's take the opportunity to do that right now. Because you just talked about PayPal. I don't have any trades in PayPal, but I like PayPal. I don't like the name. I like to short up to 85. We talked about that yesterday with Danielle. And then PayPal today, I think they get in that bump. I'm going to use that rhetoric of the new CEO because, like I said, I was listening, and there was a lot of people that were upset about Schulman there and sort of the direction, and never came in and said anything as they were completely getting clocked. But there's Bed Bath & Beyond. We waited for that short up there. I think we wrote down on here, we said shorted up to 3, but that never came through. So here's Bed Bath & Beyond today. I was not involved in it early. I know Neil had some shorts up here. I didn't get in the pre-market. So I had to wait for this to happen, and it happened just as we got off the air. So we are shorting pops, in Bed Bath & Beyond, and then we really took advantage of that one. Got the shorts here off. It was just, Luca was talking about it on the midday show, and he was like, oh, was it the 50 period? And I was like, no, it was just 250. It was just that little bump spot right there, 250. Kind of yesterday's closing price before we broke lower, of course, at 3 o'clock. But I was just shorting it against 250. I pretty much took, a decent default there. So now that it's coming back down, we still do have a piece of this. And we still actually have a quarter of it now that I look. So it's good. I'm really happy. We still have a quarter of this trade. Still to the downside, Bed Bath & Beyond. Yesterday we stopped right around here, which is why some of our outs here are at 40 off of a 48, 49.50 short. But yeah, now today you're sort of barcoding right now at 30. So I like Bed Bath & Beyond here. There is not too many scary size here. The only one thing that I'm going to point out to everybody is in the last couple of days, Bed Bath & Beyond's volume at this time was plus 100 million, so over 100 million. Now you're 34 million shares,
Yeah, it's dying.
right? And so I feel like it's done for now. It probably drifts lower on lack of interest. If it starts to pick up again, that's when I'll re-short. I'm sure Neil and I are both thinking the same thing there, but we have to wait for opportunities for that to come in, right? So for right now, I actually have a bid at 27. Now that I see this, I should probably put another bid at 30, but it's Bed Bath & Beyond. That's 1, 2, 3, 4 days now in a row that we continue to only go short this name and really bank on it. So again, it's one of my top names today. Not as much damage done on this as everything else because I was waiting for $3, but Bed Bath & Beyond still continues to get flushed, Brendan, down that toilet.
Indeed, yeah, what a week. Unfortunate for BBBY. Let's go to Big Tech. I had Big Tech on there, but I'm going to talk a little bit about chips here, guys, because let's face it, Big Tech's been kind of quiet today. It was weak initially, but I just saw Apple's actually trying to get back to positive. A few things in the chip sector that were of note today. This was after the close yesterday. Micron comes out, talks about some cost cutting, including executive salaries getting cut. And then Mizuho this morning raising to a buy, so there was actually an upgrade on Micron with a 72 price target up from 48. AMD, meanwhile, that was an interesting note on AMD taking over a third of the entire processor market, pointing to weakness in Intel versus AMD taking over a bigger chunk of their pie. But these ones, guys, my point here, these ones end up being the ones that are weak on the day.
Yeah, yet somehow my Intel short didn't work out today. Go figure. But one point on Micron, because I'm not saying it's going to happen today. I'm just saying, look at the daily chart here. This would be the 200 period moving average. This would be where we're resting. So the last time, I mean, look at how clean this was, like 50 period, 50, breaks through the 2. If we break down here, I mean, the market seems like it's reversing a little bit to the downside. That's what it's felt like the end of this week. So when Micron, and this will be like maybe a next week trade, if Micron gets underneath this area here, like it breaks 59, breaks like 58.50 or so, there's a lot of room to the downside. I want to be there for it when it happens. Today I decided to trade Intel because I didn't trade it yesterday, right? So Neil doesn't trade Intel. That's what happens. It goes down. Today I short Intel in front of the pre-market lows only to watch it break out. And if the best part about this is if you rewind the tape to the morning, I actually said short back into 28. And then promptly, the second the market opened, decided, oh, you can just short here. Like, just short it right here, wherever it happens to be at the open, because it's always good. It was good for a little bit. We were scalping it out, and everything seemed fine. It broke out. And then by the time it got to 28, I was paying attention to other things. That kind of sucks. There's not much you can do about it. That was a mistake for me. The place that I should have been was, remember yesterday when the trend got broken on NVIDIA? That's what it did in the afternoon. That's what it did in the morning. The weakness in the chips was 100% in NVIDIA, and I feel like we got that signal yesterday or last night or last evening or last afternoon, whatever you want to call it. Probably should have started the day short NVIDIA, but I had my mind on Intel. It is what it is.
Yeah, we actually started our day short on Microsoft, and it was my very first trade. We talked about why we wanted Microsoft short over and over again in the beginning. I just think this whole chat stuff is a little bit blown out of proportion, to say the least on that one. So, yeah, let's just continue to watch out for Microsoft here. There's the 263 short. I mean, look at this out, 261. Like, this is in a matter of a couple seconds, minutes. That fills at 9:35. That fills at 9:41. So $2 really quickly. And then I absolutely screwed everything up right here because this is when I was trading Microsoft and I thought I was actually trading Tesla. So we meant to get many more shares. So first of all, we went short again right there and got blown out. You could see that right there at 264. But then we re-engaged in that short because it was a blowout top. And just like my AMD trade, let me say, there we go. That's better. Excuse me. You can see right here, 263.80. Like there's it breaking 264. But what I noticed was, and you guys saw me do this live on the chat, okay, or live on the show, in the chat, I was talking about this. That's a wick top, right? Like forget about all these wicks in here. You're going to see wicks everywhere, right? I mean, there's wicks everywhere. These are good wick bottoms actually, but this was a blowout move to the top. Then it took out the top. And with decent volume, look, this is red. I don't know if you guys can see that. This candle right here that it makes this top is actually a red candle. So does that make any sense? No, because what happened was someone got stopped out then, and I was part of it, we just hit the short right away. So it's like someone got blown out there at 264, but then there was a big trader, not me, that said, oh my God, we need to short this again. So that candle actually in that 1 minute turns red. So it closes below the last green candle there off of a wick off top. So I got it real early. We could have re-engaged it right there. We probably should have, but we wind up getting that back at 73. And then look, here's the hit, right? Short 70, out O's, well, it's 04. Then we shorted 70 again. Then here's where we start getting out 44. So right there, 1 to 1. Then boom, 83s. That's $1. Then we wind up holding it all the way. And this is where I was like, oh, sick to my stomach, because it breaks back above 261.50 and we wind up getting out. But when you zoom back out, it actually doesn't look like that bad of an out. So there's our last out on Microsoft to go. And then meanwhile, do we have Google on there? That's coming up after big tech. Let's talk about it right now. And then we had Google, which I'm still long right now. This was a name that we were trying to fight the longs. Why? Because for the majority of the day, and it still is now, Google is green against the market. So it still is, but Google was actually green on the day for quite a while. So look, only bids here until eventually we got stopped out, and then we did the same thing. We went back long. Should have got out there at 95.30, didn't. But anyways, Google's been a long for me all day. We're going to try to get more longs, but not till 94. We actually wrote down 94 on our sticky notes, so if we're following our own sort of strategies there, we would have been out already. But we're going to watch out for that 94 long on Google. That's the play that's coming back in for me soon, hopefully.
All right, still a ton of weakness in Chinese ADRs. In fact, I just noticed a few of them on a downtick right now, trying to get back to day lows, including, Alibaba down 4.4%. JD.com worse off today. All of these, though, under pressure on continued talk of U.S.-China tensions continue to rile up this market a little bit. But overall, I mean, still 2 weeks in a row, I just double-checked for most of these, pretty ugly on a weekly chart even for ADRs.
So
we were talking about that candle there, that wick.
No, I have the same wick on Baba. I've gotten rid of it like 3 times. It just comes back. So I'll do this. I'll zoom in, and then by the time, there we go. By the time you get to it, you can't see it anymore. There's no story in Alibaba, and I'll get to JD in a second because that's been good. There's no story on Baba that doesn't start with 103. On the daily chart, there's a flat bottom at 103. Looks even better when you pull up to 15-minute. Like, look at the last week, bottoming out at 103. So what do? Go long at 103. So that's what I waited for confirmation. This is whenever we're bottom picking, you see it all the time. Day traders love to do this in a downward trending market because it's just psychology, right? You're always looking for the bottom because there's so much room if it comes back to the upside. But one of the better ways to get a play off the bottom is to see something that signifies that maybe it's made, I can't zoom out, that it's made a low. So you get some big moves down in, you get that one last crazy candle, and then it immediately reverses, and then look at it, then it holds, and you're looking for that break at that previous low. And then on top of it, it coincided with the support level at 103. So you add that setup to the higher time frame 103, and then you're going long there. In this particular case, instead of, a lot of times this consolidation, it's like, you're scalping, you get out some here. A lot of times if you really got a good trade, that first out, look at it trailing back down, that's a re-entry if you really like it. So you add to it instead of taking off, and then get some out at the high, and then I took it out at 104. Probably could have carried it all the way to VWAP. I just got back in when we're, actually I think you were doing the trade of the day, Sean. 103.50 has been barcoding holding it, so I'm just scalping this, hoping to get 104s, and if it breaks 103.50, I wait for 103. But it was JD that I liked even better. Sharif's not here, but the flat bottom breaks were all over the place this morning. I like this one for kind of obvious reasons. Beneath 55, look at JD.com. It gapped underneath this level. I just said I'll play multiple ways short off the pre-market high. If it had gone up, I probably would have shorted it 2 or 3 times up here somewhere. Anyways, and then we just played the trend. Like every single consolidation pop, with the exception of this one at 53, we've been shorting said pops. It's all the way down to 52. I don't know where the bottom's going to be. Temporarily, it is at $52. So I have to respect that. Sometimes these Chinese ADRs don't really go very far. And speaking of which, I probably should have just gotten more shares in right here. You know what, if it comes anywhere close to 52.30, I'm just going to rinse and repeat and try and get some more shares on JD. Short the pops has worked, and it does work when you have a trend.
Sure, yeah, it's good. We like shorting the pops. I just want to say what's up to Chris Wen here. Newbie here, he says, long equals call, short equals put. Well, in our example here, long equals long and short equals short. So we only trade equities, so I want to thank you, Chris, for coming through here today. So whenever Neil and I are talking about being short or being long, we are on a prop floor at Day Trade the World here in lovely... Oh, by the way, Pascal Siakam is now an all-star, so that's good.
Someone dropped out?
Yeah, he was a late. Yeah, well, exactly. He's a late addition. Well, injury. I don't know. I don't know what the story is, but so that was. I feel bad. I always feel like we get slighted, our guys here.
You think?
Right. So there you go. So all right, good. I'm glad you have the same opinion. All right, so we don't have to get into a debate about that.
Yeah,
so I'm just happy for Pascal because I really like him, and I think that Spicy P is a good player. But okay, back to the basics here. Yeah. So I just wanted to say that anytime that we are in these trades, we are actually trading the physical equity because we're on a prop floor, so we're trading firm capital, and that allows us to take a little bit bigger positions and trade equity and not have to worry about the spreads on options. And unfortunately, on our platform, although we do have Forex, Neil and I do not trade Forex, and we do have futures. The odd time we can step into some of those, and then we are getting a much more robust, hopefully, crypto platform coming soon. So for now, it's just equities, and Neil and I have to be flat at the end of every single day. So anything that we are talking about, like Bed Bath & Beyond, like I would still love to be short at $4, but we have to cover. So sometimes when you're seeing our covers, like when we're covering here on AMD, it's literally because I'm nervous of exactly what's happening to me right now, happening to me on my initial position. I'm fine now. I have no shares. I have 10%, looking to get a full position very, very soon. Actually, my bid is at 66. I better tell everybody that right now. So that's where we have this position at 76. We could buy a little bit more now. I'm just waiting for a little bit more of a dip. The market's below the 50 period. But that's just a quick explanation there. I hope it helped there. That's what we're doing on the floor every day, is trading equities. So we have to be flat at the end of every day. I hope that helps you a little bit, but that's where Neil and I are on all of this. So thank you for watching, Chris. Okay, we just got a super chat. Let's talk about that right now. What's up, J Syrup? I know that's not what it says there. It says J Sup. What's up, J Sup? Let's go J Syrup there. NVDA. So I'm going to hope that NVIDIA bounces because I'm looking for a long year in AMD. So let's go have a quick look. Thank you so much. And again, in order to be involved in our chat, of course, you have to be in our subscribers. So a subscriber is completely free. We have over 378,000. Please become a subscriber right now. Will it bounce off support? Well, what support? You put in there 209? Yeah, I mean, here's 209. Will it bounce? No, I'm gonna say no. I feel like you're below. This is VWAP. We have the 200 there, and we have the 50, all pointing lower, making right now new like lower highs. Boom, 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 all made in here. I mean, you could test along. The only reason I say no is you're down 6% right now. So for me, it's a little scary right now to try any names on that. If you want to test for something to bounce, the reason why I'm in AMD is just a much better today, only down 3%. So I'm thinking that if you want to try something that's going to bounce, look at this. AMD's actually at the lows right now, looking to bounce. So if you get a bounce in the market right now, then you're there. If you have to wait for... If you're waiting for AMD and you take a 209, well, your out's probably gonna have to be 208. So first of all, that's one thing. And then you're taking a long in a stock that is well worse than the market and its peers. So I would say if you're gonna go long on something and you think the market's gonna bounce, go on something that's a little bit stronger than the weakest name. So that would be my advice there, but hey, we've been wrong before and I'll be wrong again. So thanks for that, Jay Sup there. I appreciate the super chat.
All right, let's go on to Tesla. Speaking of a bounce, trying to bounce right now, finally, 5.5%. I was just double checking. Tesla trying to make it 5 or what is it? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 5 weeks in a row on the green side. This 190 right here was where it closed last Friday. So we have a couple of bucks to work with for Tesla to maintain this weekly winning streak, guys. But trying to uptick right now for Tesla. Wasn't much on that today as far as news to consider. Just that Model Y in China getting a price hike once again after they just cut it in December.
Yeah, I think Tesla, the story with Tesla today is probably pretty similar to the story with NVIDIA today in the evening. We all saw NVIDIA and Tesla basically single-handedly holding up the market from abject disaster, and then late in the afternoon, they both broke trend, and things got ugly, and then today they just both continued the trend to the downside. I was looking at other things today that I thought were better setups, and maybe that was also wrong. I like the Chinese ADRs because the chart setup was easier, but if you look at Tesla off 205, that was pretty darn good, shorting pops. And this is where I actually tried to short this off of looking at this low. I just looked at 196 and that breakdown there and had myself fixated on the level instead of the trend, which I feel like that's the wrong way to go about it. Always think about the trend, wait for it to make the higher low, and then try to get on the other side of it. Like, see the curl, participate. Don't try to get in just because it's at a level that's in the middle of nowhere and happens to be a previous low. So that would set up that maybe you're going to get another curl here, except for I'm not completely convinced. I almost want to see how this reacts to a move to the upside on Tesla. There's other names out there, I do think. I do like the Chinese ADRs. I like NVIDIA. Honestly, you were just talking about NVIDIA for potential long. I don't know. I actually feel like NVIDIA's trend is pretty strong here. Every time it makes a reversal, look how deep the moves are to the downside. So the next pop this makes, I'm going to be looking to curl over on NVIDIA. Oh, and by the way, Alibaba came out. You saw when JD came to the downside for me? Well, Baba at 103.50, I have to do this every time. At 103.50, it took me out, got in front of it. I had like a 58 long, got out when it broke 150. Now I'm waiting for 103. 103 is a level I'll jump back into the long, pretty much only at that price. Not really worth it to go anywhere else. And we'll see what happens with Tesla. I do want to get back over to, one other name there. Meta, which has sucked. I mean, well, I don't want to say it sucked. I mean, if you were short, it's been good today. It was a little bit tricky at the open, right at about 10 o'clock, because it did stop me out there. Then we kind of got back to it, shorting the peaks. But I missed out on this move because I got all out here in this lower high and then never really got back in. The next pop off this double bottom might take you all the way up to 175. That's where I think I want to go for a reload on Meta. So I'm just going to get that order in. Looking at this point, the short pops until I'm kind of told otherwise that we're not going to go into another weak flush. But Tesla is coming back upside, so it looks like it might make sense to be patient shorting that name.
Okay. Anyways, we did buy some more AMDs. It's going back up to the upside. We just picked up that bottom, like we said, 72. We were waiting for more at 66. I got a little impatient, so we picked that up. So let's take, oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir, right there. There it is. Bang for you, Henry Z. And Henry Z, how are you? How about another bang? And this is for the next person that comes on there. What's up, Finch Jane? Bang for that one. You live at Jane and Finch? All right. Nothing wrong with that neighborhood. Nothing wrong with that neighborhood. Okay, so there we go. Nice little downside move there for AMD. We took advantage of that. And this is for everyone watching. Bang right there. There it is right there. What's up, Henry? What's up, user? What's up, everybody there? AMD Christmas tree. I don't know what that means, but I like it. Okay, so my Tesla trade earlier on today, it was a good trade until now. It's just disastrous. Like, if I don't have Tesla on here, I have a much better day. I mistraded this by accident. This was one of the keystrokes. I haven't made a keystroke in a while. I thought right here that I was shorting Microsoft. You can look at the chart. I already talked about Microsoft and what I was trying to do right here. I thought I was shorting Microsoft, but instead I was on the Tesla screen, which was ridiculous. So I wound up getting out of this long, which turned out to be perfect. The out was perfect. But then you see that buy there at 201.50? That was disastrous. And I wound up taking, I think it was about 6 or 7 times the shares that I would normally take on Tesla, because I was so much more confident in Microsoft than I was about that with Tesla. So yeah, that just came right back in right now for Tesla. And anyways, we dropped it off, and it's a good thing that we got out because it just continued to fall down. So my lesson here for everybody on Tesla is, if you make a mistake that's that brutal, just get out, because I could have lost not my whole month, but close enough to it if I would have held down and taken like a $6 hit there. Instead, we took about a $1 hit, so it was much, much more reasonable, and we actually got out faster than that. So that was a good out for me there on Tesla. But you can see right now, it's starting to bounce back up, still down 5%. I wouldn't do anything until we get to VWAP, which was 198.50, then maybe look at this 199.50 there as a top. But you could see here we're long AMD, as that's now ripping to the upside as well. So yeah, so far so good here. Let's just keep focused on what we're doing, and Tesla's going to be one of those names. I'm more interested in Tesla up at 200 rather than where we are now. So let's let it sort of float back up if it wants to go. I'm long Google, I'm long AMD, and I'm short Bed Bath & Beyond. So You know, the shorts, I don't have any on right now. If I do have something, maybe it's going to be Amazon but my mind is wired. I think we're done. We can.
We're done there.
We're done that board. So let's go over to Amazon quickly. My mind is wired to only go short on Amazon. So that's why I just said them. But that was kind of tongue in cheek because I haven't actually looked at Amazon yet. It was really strong. I can't believe we made it all the way back there. That's when on the first show I was like, nah, forget about Amazon. But it was fool's gold because why? Amazon went right back into yesterday's close and then tanked. So I was right again on that, but I've lost money on Amazon shorting it. It was a little bit of a mistake there early. Let's see if it gets back up. This is a good level, man, 98. Let's short in all this mess right here. Amazon goes back up a little bit. We'll stay short on that name, but I like it. I like Amazon short. It's just haven't made any money on it today.
Yeah, I'm looking back over at PayPal. It's now holding above VWAP, looking like it wants to make the break out of this consolidation. If it gets above, I'm going to take the break of this level. Otherwise, I'll just look at this sort of trend here, look at like 80-40 or something like that, join the trend into the long side. I want something that's going to be relatively strong. Tesla just made the move up. It got up to, I got to zoom in, these wicks. It just made the move up, got into 107.50. You can sort of see here, big strong move in there, held 197. I'm going to look for the 197 short. Meta never came even close, to where I would have tried to grab it. Unfortunately, we're looking for the pop in Meta into 175. It's not even that strong. It's continuing to show a lot of weakness in here in Meta. I'm going to jump in. Kind of this little consolidation here. If it starts to go sideways, I'm going to jump on the consolidation of Meta. That's what I want to see. I want to see sideways action. For the record, just to cover this, Bed Bath & Beyond's making a bit of a move to the upside. What I'd look to see, because at this point really don't have much left on in the position, it probably has to get into VWAP, and then it's like, that's an ad. If anything, this might have been an ad in here now that I'm thinking about it. Yeah, you know what? I'm being real. Like, if I'm shorting pops in this name, that probably constitutes, and it's short sale restricted, so you have to get an uptick. This is probably worth it to start back into VWAP, take some fills on the way up. Maybe you don't see all the way up to 250, but that's about all we're doing with Bed Bath & Beyond is just hopping on the offer when it makes a move and trying to catch a short back into the lows. There is no other way to play this because you cannot just sit there hitting the bid or hammering the bid when the stock is SSR. All right, I'll let Meta come to me a little bit here. Just want to be patient with some of these. Meta and NVIDIA, I want to be shorting any kind of pop I can. PDD, I'm just looking for the low of the day at this point, if this even wants to load here. Not PDD, sorry. I meant JD. I trade a lot of PDD. That's actually very strong. I was trying to get 52.10s. I'm going to step that up to 52.15. I'm going to rinse and repeat this if I get a chance off 52.30 and then continue to short every single peak. But I finally just got Meta.
Ooh, yeah, I was going to say the market started to go a little bit there. I did like a little whistle there because we did have a nice little upside move. Whoopsies. What's going on? I did not get long there. Okay, we'll figure that out. A nice little upside move there in AMD. And the market. So you said you just got long on Meta?
No.
Oh, what did you
I got the curl.
Okay, good. Yeah, so short. That's what I was going to say. If you're breaking out long, fine. But yeah, right now you just topped up right there. I like that play. I really like it. Looking at the NASDAQ, you're below the 50 period. I'm trying to do the same thing as Neil was just talking about there. I'm actually looking to go short right now on names. So I think that's good. I'm not going to look at Meta because you have it. But we just got a piece out on AMD. But AMD's bumping right now. So maybe we're just wrong on what AMD wants to do. So I don't know. The market's still hovering around here, but AMD is still bumping. One name that Brendan talked about early, and me and Neil sort of found it. I mean, it's not found it, but this is all-time highs right now for XOM today. And the oil names up 2% here is oil, and XOM says, okay, hold my beer, hold my barrel, I guess, as oil continuing to rock. And there's XOM. Wow, huge move up. I don't know why our daily charts. Okay, there it is. Just peeking its head over this top right now. Watch out for 120 on XOM. Obviously, whenever you're at a key level, we like to short those levels and things like that. So I'm going to definitely look out for that one. XOM here at 120 right now. I hear you hitting keys here. I hope that is okay.
I got that fill in Bed Bath & Beyond. So
what fill?
I decided to take it here in the low 30s. It's kind of, I don't know. I was looking for a pop to finally do something with this name.
That pop.
So I got some of this here, and then just hitting keys is to get bids out because then I flip away from it and kind of don't pay attention to it. I shouldn't say that. I have it up on another level too. I know where the stock is, but I'm not going to obsess over the chart. I did just get PayPal to the long side as it's trying to break out here. I would have taken a dip buy into VWAP, but if we're going to break out, this has some room to get to the upside, at least in this way. If it gets to 81, like that round number, I can scalp some to 81. I should put the order actually at 81. There we go. That's a little bit better. And then just see how far it can go. So scalp some in there, reloads in front of VWAP, see if it can start trending into the upside. I have no idea if it's going to actually happen, but at least it's relatively strong. Meta, I want to be scalping inside of the range. If it goes sideways off this low of the day, I want to get in and out, hold for a low of the day break, and then we'll just try to go from there at that point. Tesla, I might have missed.
Ford?
Yeah, I might have missed out on Tesla. I'll go ahead and cancel that one. Like, you get that wick up, you try to capture the trade in here, and then hope to get that fill after it makes a move up, and then trend to the downside. When it comes back to the upside, I'd rather look a little tighter to 197.40 or so. Oxy short, Adam Delowe said, do we really want to short an oil name?
What's up, Adam?
Today? I mean, I've looked at the XOM chart a lot and felt like, why are we not long XOM? Oh, I see what you're getting at. Yeah, breaking down 65.
Oh, really breaking down?
Let's look at the daily. So you got, I don't know, it's kind of, on the daily chart, you're seeing a bit of a different picture. 64 is the 50 period. Maybe there's some support there. It doesn't look as good on the higher time frame. I see exactly what you're getting at. Flat bottom break at 65. You know, I'm going to sit it out because I'm not completely convinced that I want to be short an oil name. And I can see both sides of it. Like, it's obviously got support at 64. There's a long way to go till it gets to that price. I'd rather see it break the level and then see how it reacts beneath it. And then if I feel like it's weak, it tries to go back up, fails 65, then you short it on the way back to the upside as it starts rolling over. That would make more sense. It's like wait for confirmation because I'm not sure. It's a long way to say it. I mean, I'd love to be able to tell you something definitive, but I'm just not even feeling short oil today when it's been so strong. Maybe I'm just wrong about that. We did get Meta. I'm going to get back on the offer here just in case it pops again because I want to rinse and repeat that. Pay yourself out. Rejoin the trend wherever you can. Get some out because that is low of the day. And then work to get back into the upside. Just try to take trades you have conviction in. I just don't have anything convicted to say on Occidental. Sorry.
You're convicted. I just want to give a big shout out to Will Evans here. Best on YouTube. Trader TV. So thank you so much in the chat there, Mr. Will Evans right here in the chat. Thank you so much for your kind words on there. And then a big shout out. What's up, Adam? Where's Adam? There he is right here. What's up, Adam? Adam contacted me on Instagram the other day and I just went back to him. I just want to tell everybody, I don't monitor Instagram as far as the DMs and stuff like that as much as Twitter. There's just so much crap on Instagram, to be honest with you. So I keep telling everybody that if you're going to try to DM me or, you know, you want... yeah, I don't have too much time to go over all the charts and everything that people send me all the time for trade ideas and stuff like that. But if you just want to say what's up, it's better on Twitter than it is on Instagram for me because just the filters. I think I have literally like 1,400 fake accounts or so out for me right now on Instagram, and I only have 6,000 followers. So go on to Twitter. We got the blue check mark on Twitter, and it just makes our life a little bit easier if you do hit us up on Twitter, of course. I prefer that as opposed to Insta. So if you guys are on there, that's where to get me. All right, so what do we want to talk about now? Bed Bath & Beyond? Nah. AMD, we did get some out there. Remember, it was just a small little reload. We are waiting for a little bit lower on that name. Someone wanted me to go over Ford. So we could do that. Why not? We like some Ford talk here. Yeah. Not much. We talked about it earlier today. There was a special 65-cent dividend along with the regular dividend. And then Brendan also brought up to our point there this morning, and rightfully so, that they divested some of their Rivian exposure. I think it was 91 million shares they released as of last year. So I don't know. I guess they must have had to file something. And I mean, I could understand why Ford would be down on that news, based on that Rivian. It was supposed to be a win for them, right? And obviously it was an L. So I don't know. I think there was a lot baked into Ford. If you looked at Ford right now, I don't know. Again, I'm just hoping, fingers crossed, that our charts will give it to us. But when Rivian IPO'd, Ford was like 25, 26 bucks. Yeah, right here. Like this is I just want to call like the hype heading into Ford, heading into Rivian. We called it Rivian Week. You can go back and look. I'm pretty sure Rivian must have came out around January of 2022. So ramped up, hit these highs. Then when Rivian went southbound, so did Ford. So that's why, to me, when I'm looking at something like this, it kind of makes me think that, that's one of the reasons why they got dumped out today. So, that makes sense. But as far as a trade, remember, they did have that special 65-cent dividend. So that's going to come off. So 350 minus 65 cents really brings this thing back to 12.85. So you're not down too much today, but you are down on Ford. I'm not down on Ford in life. I like Ford. I think Ford has a good chance to go. The number one selling vehicle in the United States is, Neil,
Well, it's F-150.
Right, so F-150. So being electrified,
yes,
that's where I think they could pick up a lot there, but they're not doing much everywhere else. We talked about that Mach-E.
That's the problem.
The Mach-E is not super popular from what I can see.
And the other issue is, like, there's a little bit of what just happened to Lyft with Uber, where it's like it's getting reacted to worse because Uber had a good quarter. Well, Ford, I feel like, is getting punished because GM just had a good quarter, and then Ford came right off of that and then didn't. So sometimes that happens. You just get that comparison game too much. But at the end of the day, I think those are both two safer bets, safe-ish bets on the EV space, for lack of a better term. But that Bed Bath & Beyond, I'm just going to go here and do this. Like, just take every single pop. Just do it.
Yes.
Just do it. It's like you see it move up, just get on the offer. I mean, a real move up. Like, once it starts doing something, get on the offer. It just immediately came back down. I'm just going to keep my bids out there. But PayPal, Meta's fine. JD's good. Oh, JD, I got the low of the day on JD, or close to it there. Those are good. But that means my long, we'll see. It's at VWAP. This one I want to pick some more up. But if it cannot hold this, I mean, I could draw a trend line for you, but you guys just imagined the afternoon trend line, and if that breaks, I get out again. I'm just looking to see if it has some follow-through off of that trend. It's the one long I have on. I got that silly buyout of some shares left in it from this morning, but everything else is to the south side. We'll see if PayPal wants to give me something on that long, but it is, once again, it's always, you want it to be one way, it's the other way. And we all want the market to go up, but sometimes it is just go short because the market is going down, find ways to get back into it, hit the low of the day again on JD.com, which probably means, I should have looked before I said this, Baba's not there yet. Baba 103, so I will take a long off of 103 on Alibaba. It is a multi-day support level. It bounced off this once already. I'll take my shot if 103 breaks. I'm just going to get out. I'm not going to get fancy with it. My bid is literally at, that's a random, I have 08s as a bid. Why am I bidding 08s? I'll bid like 05s. Like, if it's going to go there, it's going to probably go there. So it's bid 05s instead of 08s. It's really a distinction without a difference, but I just like it a little bit better.
Yeah, if you don't know, now you go to that price.
Here you go.
All right, what are you even talking about here, Derek Spainhauer? So again, I'm only shutting your name out because it's right here. And whoa, I don't want to say that. Oops. Oh no, I lost it. Oh, here it is right here. You could be, you're probably right here. My buddy was on, I'm going to say the story in case nobody's part of our chat here. And if you're not part of our chat, I mean,
hit the subscribe first. Then you can
become a subscriber, and then you can see our chat here. But Derek goes, my buddy was on a 20-month waiting list for Rivian truck. That makes sense, okay? The R1T, I guess. He finally got it and sold it within a week for 15K profit. Smart move. I like that. That's, scalping. There you go. Right. Yeah.
Okay, all good so far.
Bang for your friend. Well, that doesn't sound good. All right. Yeah, good win for him. Okay. How about this? That's a good idea. All right. So there's that. Now, yeah, whatever. Your friend can do whatever he wants. All right. So now the part that I wasn't get at here is that he said charging it costs more than filling gas in his Ford F-150. I mean, what?
What are
is
you
he charging it
where
with?
are you? What are your energy costs?
Plutonium? I don't understand. But I mean, that does not take away the whole point of everything. I know the fact that
just knock
we're trying to be environmental and all that kind of stuff. Is that true? Like, has other people heard of that? And then plus the other part is that turning it over for 15K profit. And again, I apologize if it's been explained. I haven't scrolled down in the chat. I just saw that. I want to talk about it. That's part of the problem with Tesla, because remember that when Tesla dropped the price, a lot of people were waiting in line to get Teslas, and then they were flipping them. They were still a very strong resale market. But then when they dropped the price 20 grand there, then it changed the dynamic behind that. So then all of a sudden people not being able to buy them and then flip them right away. So that was pretty interesting. I'm going to go ahead and read more chat. I don't know if people
I'm trying to read it here. Some people are saying, I'm seeing it's not true. Using a charging station, yes. Okay. Charge at home, it's super cheap. So Look, my experience with it is I don't have an electric vehicle, so it sounds like what you guys are saying is it can be a little bit pricier with the charging stations, but if you do it at home, your energy
I don't
costs
think it's
more reasonable. That makes some sense to me, but I'm not going to sit here and pretend that I know the exact answer. That didn't sound right to me, but
okay.
I don't know.
I'm only questioning it because that's interesting. Like if that is the case, then I mean,
like I can.
Why the hell would anyone want a truck?
I can imagine scenarios where electricity is costing that much. Like you have.
Yeah.
I mean, there's certain ways that electricity is charged in certain places. Every state's different, from what I hear. And sometimes you get these price gouges every now and then. I can see that happening, and maybe temporarily something crazy. But yeah, it's a little bit weird. A bit of a wick bottom here in Meta. That's what I'm looking at. So it kind of catches this bid. Yeah, I should have got out. I'm in scout mode in this stock. Like I should have gotten out here off that low there. I don't know why I put an order to demonstrate that. I could have just like pointed to it. But if it gets anywhere down there, I might decide to just take this out and look for reentry. Getting back in has not really been too much of a trouble for a lot of these trades, finding a way back into the trend. But allowing it to get all the way back up to this top didn't make sense. Looking back over at Tesla here, guys, it's you know what? This is maybe a little bit stronger. Let's accept it. I'm not going to try and short Tesla anymore. Down 5%, but nowhere close to the low of the day. You just saw like a lot of other names, Meta, the Chinese ADRs, getting down toward the low of the day. Nothing like that happening in Tesla. So let's go with some relative strength in Tesla and not even try to fight it. Google to 130, Daniel Smith. I hope so.
Yes.
I'm down with that. I got no issue. It's not going to happen today though, but I have no. It's definitely not going to happen today, but I'd be pretty happy if that were to happen. It just feels like it's headed down toward that 94 level. It never really tapped 94, which is a good sign. That's the 50 period. That was that support level. It got to quarters. If it gets back down to that could be a double bottom. Remember yesterday, it eventually caught a bid. Effectively in the afternoon, I zoomed too far there. Effectively in the afternoon, it really was that 94 level. So you got a double bottom up here. This could be good. Yeah, that random comment in the chat, Google to 130, just reminded me of this 94 level on Alphabet. And I always go back and forth. Like I say Google 2 or 3 times, remember that I should be saying Alphabet.
Like Beetlejuice. Oh, no, shit, did he appear somewhere? Okay. Ooh, it's like if you say a stock too many times, all of a sudden you're long it magically.
So what you got to say is,
watch out for that.
You got to look in the mirror and say Candyman. Is it?
No, I'm not doing that. No, I'm just playing around. I don't believe in that stuff. But Beetlejuice, I do believe in it because obviously if they make a movie about it, it's probably real. So, all right, Roblox right now. Let's go back over to that. I saw someone in the chat asking about Roblox. So not only do they take my money every single month, they also are bleeding out a little bit themselves. This is a good one, man. I don't know. Again, I apologize. I didn't see who it was in the chat, but you're onto something here, I think. That's a good one, man. You're below the 50 period. I like all this. I like everything that's happening right now. So the only problem with me entering something right here is we're having a good day. For some reason, I got this stupid headache. I took 2 Advil right after the morning show, and I haven't been able to really recover. I'm pounding back the waters. I haven't got an iced coffee there to try to help with that, so hopefully that'll all get fine. That's not a reason for me not to get in. I don't care. I'll buy anyways. But I'm just watching these trades that I have, and I want to make sure that I make the right trades. That's always, for me, the most important. And honestly, I'm not convinced about this market right now, and it's like Alibaba yesterday. Remember we had that break at 108, and then the market didn't really participate. It didn't do anything. And then finally the market went down and then Alibaba started to go. So for me, I think that if you can get a break here of 34.50, then I like that. I would rather wait for 50 than this bottom of 56 because we've already been here before. Just wait for the even 50 if you get a chance, right? So that's sort of what I'm thinking is the right play here, is to wait for that bottom break of 50. And then honestly, it might even be the other way around. Like it might be a long here, especially if you break above this 50 period. It's just a matter of where do we think Roblox is going right now. And you're down 5%. It's just, I don't have it in me right here to go short anything. I just think that the market is, remember we started the day at 0.7 down, we're at 0.8. So unless there's some sort of an upsized move somewhere in one of these names, then I don't really want to be in it. We already have a great trade, I feel like, in AMD because, again, look where we're long. We waited for that bottom. and something that's given it to us before. So that's why if you're gonna do anything, I might play the long in Roblox down there, just like we're doing in AMD, but I'm just more comfortable with AMD. So let's see if it gets to 81.40 where we got out the last time there, and we'll get another piece. Well, maybe we'll just get a piece out right now at 20 and ring that register. We're 40 cents in the money.
Holy crap, Google.
Yeah, I'm also have Google, but that's not moving, right? Oh,
it just started to go.
It just started to go.
Like
Okay,
just
I'm
now.
long that name too.
I was just trying. I'm like, oh, it's probably worth it picking up the bid.
I might just get out of AMD. It just
So
stopped.
I don't know if you're going to be able to get it. I want to step up and see if I can get that one again. You know, PayPal just came back in the money. I wanted to go back over to forget about Alibaba. Forget about Baba.
Wait a minute, you got in and out of Google.
No, I didn't get into Google.
Oh, you didn't get in.
I didn't get the fill.
I saw you not in.
Which is annoying, but you missed it. You missed it. But
okay.
Tesla just got pretty strong. So I'm kind of thinking the other way on Tesla now. The other way meaning long, obviously.
Yeah.
So it needs to, if it clears 197.50, which that wick I'm not sure is real. I'm pretty sure it's not. That could be a bit of a breakout, but until it makes a breakout, I'm going to try and buy dips on this little bit of a mini trend to the upside on Tesla. Hey, PayPal's come back at the money, but I never got the reload. So let's see if we can't get a little bit of Tesla, buy some dips in there. PayPal, do I want to add to it on this break? So I didn't get the dip buy, then try to get more aggressive and still didn't get it. I might just decide to add on the break up here if we're going to trend back in. I know this is one that has room to run. So, I'll just add a piece, just like wet my beak a little bit. What's that term? Yeah, wet your beak. I always say,
yeah, that
it's
makes
not.
sense. Wet your
no,
whistle?
there's a different term I like to use where if you scratch the itch, like, you know, if you're ever in a situation in a trade where, okay, well, I like this trade, but I probably shouldn't be adding a ton here. So instead of getting like a full position, just take enough to satisfy the urge you're getting to do something. Or if you're like, oh my gosh, this is in the money for me, I should get out. Don't take it all out. Just take a small piece out. Just scratch the itch. Then you'll have that, whatever that little bit in you that's telling you to get out, or that usually is wrong because you get out too early. Just make sure you're satisfying that part of you a little bit, but not for everything. I should have just satisfied that scratching of the itch now on Tesla because it did actually just go up closer to VWAP. No, that's too tight. Let's see if it can't get up to 198. I just feel like maybe we are trying to head back in to the upside here. And if we do, there's a few names that can go. I like Tesla here. I like PayPal. If I take a third, it's going to be Alphabet. But, you know, I don't want to chase it too far. Maybe it is worth it to get something here on Alphabet. I'm going to like it to 94 anyway, so why not? Let's join that party. And as far as shorts go, I do like to have something in the pocket. I did reload Meta, but at some point even Meta is going to turn into, you know, if the market keeps going up, at some point even Meta is going to catch a bid. Let's acknowledge that. Here, I'm not too sure about JD, because the Chinese ADRs don't always move as much, so it's really not, it's got to bounce. It broke 52. If it gets back under 52, I think this one is safe to hold on for the rest of the day. I'm not going to reload at that key 52 level. I feel like it either bounces from here and gives me the quarters, or we're just kind of flushing for the rest of the day on JD.com. But I think we're lined up now. I got Google. I added Tesla and PayPal. We already had to the long side. I'll still work with the Meta short, and JD's more of a hold than anything else to me. I'll hold on to JD. If I get a real pop, I guess I'll short again.
All right, those of you familiar with the show know what this means. A goal. There's been a goal scored. That's the red light for a goalie. So Justin's a goalie, by the way, so he probably sees that a lot. All right, so...
Ouch!
Da-dum-dum, ching, ching, ching.
Bodies.
Body shots, yeah. Bodying him there.
You ever see that one? Bodies.
What is that?
It's like just basically you're lying over and shooting them down.
No,
I don't know, man. I see the kids fire that one off
I'm just
on
playing around there. All right, but no, what it means for us is new position alert. So we'll hit it again right there. And yeah, Amazon has entered the building right now. Yeah, a dish best served cold right there. But no, 97.30. There it is right here to the downside as you continue to go. So I told you we pick on Amazon to the short side, right? So here we go. Let's go. I thought that you were doing the sprinkler.
I think it's that too. I could be doing it wrong. When I saw the guys do it on YouTube before, it kind of looks like that.
We went short on Amazon. I know, that's why I was wondering what you're doing. Get those bodies on the flow. Right here, I was going to go short. I'm short until 70 here. So we're going to go short. I want to go short again. I put an order around 55 in case we get back up into here. But let's take this short right now. We just took a 33 bid. So we're short at what, 43, 33. You guys know we take 10 cents. I don't know if this market's going to do anything, but we just came up to a level that I was pretty happy with. And it's power hour. Good call, Neil. So So we're into 3 o'clock. Maybe we get some action here into the close. I mean, right now the market is doing absolutely nothing. So let's just stick with our guns. Let's stick with something that we've been strong on for the last little while. Amazon, Bed Bath & Beyond, Neil reloaded that one. Oh, and I scratched the itch on AMD, by the way. You were talking about that. And I was just like, I'm going to scratch it the other way. I'm going to get out. So we were long there, and I was debating getting out at this top. So there's another piece out for AMD. So yeah, remember, this is not the long that we had. We put this long on right down there. So now we're going to see if it wants to continue to extend upside. The Amazon trade could be in trouble. I mean, if this market wants to rally, then yeah, Amazon will be in trouble. But let's see if it does. You know, it's sort of been doing this. We broke the 50 period, went about 20 handles lower, maybe at most. So right now we are approximately 20 handles higher right now too. So I feel like we're okay here. Amazon back in. There's another short. I actually didn't realize I was taking that short. So yeah, okay. So we have another short coming. The bigger one's at 58. So we're gonna wait for that. Oh, it's because that's 50. Okay. So we took a 50. We still have a 58 there, and then my cover's at 97.70 in case we get back from Brendan and this trade is debunked. So 97.70 is my out. We'll have an average price of about 60 by the time that happens, or sorry, 55, because we're short at 50 now. We're going to get a 60. Give us a 55, 15 cents worth of risk on Amazon. Take it away, Brendo.
Hey guys, yeah, into the final hour we go. If you haven't done so yet, make sure you take a second, guys, hit the like and subscribe to the channel. I just saw a note, Ryan Reynolds coming up on CNBC this afternoon, who has apparently been roaming around the GTA as well for the past week or so. So I don't know why he's not hanging out here. Anyways, if you missed it this morning, this was the headline that sent the market to the downside initially. It was consumer sentiment, Michigan consumer sentiment, 13-month high on that number, in fact, that erased any sign of an early rally. But here we are back to green at least. S&P 500 0.1 to the upside. The Dow 0.4 right now, faring the best. You can see the Russell 2000 right now trying to go back to green as well. Still ways to go for this one, though. 0.73, 0.75 for the NASDAQ composite and the 100. If you're with us pre-market, we got you up to date on PayPal, Microsoft, Google this morning. PayPal pretty ugly on that report itself, but the forecast a little better than expected. That's what helped all day. Here we go, trying to take out 81 currently, guys, for PayPal once again.
Yes, Brendan. You saw what just happened? PayPal wasn't doing spit-ish. And then suddenly Brendan's like, hey, let's bring up PayPal and happening now. Then it gets to 81, so we get our first target out there. Yeah, above 81, we'll start to take more out if it continues going. Tesla, I just tried to get, this is what happens, man. I hate you, Tesla.
No.
No, it doesn't even matter. It starts going again, then you throw a bid, and it's like any order that hits the book starts the algo sometimes to go to the upside. I just said wet my beak, or someone said satiate is like the way we should say it, not wet your beak or scratch the itch or wet the whistle. Like I just threw an offer, now I can actually get a fill. So there we go. I'm trying to get more in front of 97, but I just missed it. I'm not moving. My bid is staying here in front of 97. I'm not chasing it because you wouldn't fill. We're going to wait for that fill. However, the good news for Meta is that reload, it doesn't want to take out this resistance. So still have my bid, 74, low a day. I think we're okay with that. Still relatively weak. Bed Bath & Beyond, however, whoops, it's still a NASDAQ stock. Oh, for the love of God. You think after 4 days in a row of trading the stock, I would remember it's a NASDAQ stock? It just popped up again, and I didn't take it because I thought we'd get a little closer to VWAP. But every time it moves up, whether I get a fill or not, you jump back on the bid because we have to be flat at the end of the day. If you're tuning in for the first time, A, hit the like and the subscribe.
Wait, what?
B, we have to cover our positions by the end of the day, which does mean in the afternoon a little bit more scalping, a little bit more aggressive, getting out of our fills, kind of like this one in Meta, sorry.
Amazon. Yeah, just quickly, we're going to Brendan in a second. I just want to make sure that you guys are well aware of what's been happening right now. This is for you, Henry. Let's go, man. We just talked about this short. So if you guys are looking for some trades, I mean, there's Amazon right now, bang after bang. And also, why did we just mention Ryan Reynolds?
I had no idea.
Both Neil and I missed that, Brendo. I don't know if there's a public. I know he's on. Well, you mentioned he might come on. I know he has a gin company, I think. And not only that, he's also, him and Blake Lively, trying to buy the, well, not them combined. They don't have enough money, but Ottawa's Senators. So just a little interesting tidbit. But let's go over to Brendan
good luck with that.
And find out what's up over there.
Apparently he's coming up on CNBC. He's been showing up at restaurants all week long in the GTA here. So he's in Toronto, I guess. Just be careful if anyone's looking at PayPal. There's no source on this yet, but PayPal apparently suspending stablecoin development on this SEC regulator crackdown. So that just popped up as well for PayPal.
So, I mean, I'll take that opportunity on, because PayPal just looked like it was okay. And then you just said that, and it started, I mean, the market started turning back down. So I took another leg out. We'll see if that was the right decision. I'll wait back for VWAP. It didn't really move it much. I'll get back on VWAP here.
But
that's
how
probably.
much is that going up, though, on that? It didn't go up that much, did it? Is that 50
it's been,
cents?
it's
Or
not
I
really
didn't
moving
know.
that much.
Okay.
So, you know, you hear a headline and it sounds even a little bit negative. It's like, okay, well, I like the bid down here anyway, so let's just trim some off and get back on the bid at 80.50. I think that makes sense. We'll see what happens. We just got some Meta out. Okay, so we'll go and rinse and repeat on Meta. Let's adjust my orders here. So we'll go back on the offer of Meta, rinse and repeat. If it gets to the low of the day, we'll hold through the low of the day. Alphabet is doing literally nothing.
Yeah,
Oh,
I'm in
goodness.
that name. It's actually coming down.
Oh, it is coming down. Something smells really, really freaking good right now. Somebody's eating something behind us, and Neil's getting a little bit hungry having to smell that. So we'll see what, I don't know who's
Neil
doing it.
is getting hungry. Yeah, you don't want that.
Right? Okay, so I finally get that 97 film. Like, I'm not moving. Yeah, I probably should have moved out of the way on that one. We'll see if Tesla can end up holding up. That's a pretty strong reversal. If you're wondering why did the market just reverse like that, my guess is, here's NASDAQ. I think this is a 50. I don't know why. Usually my 50 is the light one. That's weird. I'll have to double check. But either way, you just had a retake of the high and then a strong wick down. So we kind of broke this previous high in the 15-minute and then slammed back beneath it, kind of a rejection of that break. So like you had a bit of a flush in some of those names. That can cause like algos to sell a bunch of highly indexed names. That's what happens, right? So you kind of withstand that. I have my reload anyways. I'm going to get on the offer of Tesla. Now that you sort of withstand that little bit of a wick, and then we'll see if we can get back up on the road to VWAP, which is where I hope we're going, and PayPal, whatever. You know, I took some out there on that little note from Brendan, but sometimes you react that way, and now it looks like it wants to trend right back to the upside. So it kind of brushed that one off. I don't think it was a bad decision to take some off in that situation because you don't really know what's going on. You just hear kind of a headline that could be negative, sell some, not all, and see if you can't catch a bid lower.
Yeah, so we actually just did quite well there. We'll put some money in our pocket here on Amazon. Just took another 44 bid. Remember, we're short 60. Like, we're short 58s. It's not like, I told you, remember our average price is going to be 55. Excuse me, turns out to be 58. Our best out 40. And, you know, we did the analysis, and it was a very, very basic one. And it was just that, you know, we were 20 handles higher here, and we were 20 handles lower there. So possibly a pullback was coming. So, you know, when that happens right there, like, this is what I mean. We had the discussion about rocket science and architects and all that and engineers. It's like, you know, sometimes just when something makes a little bit of sense there, I'm just going to go with it. And that time it worked. So we are going to take the profits back in for Amazon. I mean, it's really that simple sometimes for me, but not simple to trade, but just that logic. And sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. But unfortunately right now, unless this market really gets going, that's why I asked Brendan, like, was there maybe a stock that was moving there based on Ryan Reynolds being around? He's Canadian. So, I mean, being around,
in Canada,
you know who was around here recently has been Will Ferrell. So that's a bigger name. And then Jason Momoa apparently around here as well. Toronto's like basically the Hollywood of the North.
I love
right?
TIFF because like you run into people.
Yeah, in September.
You know who I ran into like this years and years ago? Remember our old office? There was a McDonald's next to our old trading floor.
Denzel Washington.
No, it was Lieutenant Daniel. I forget the actor's name, but Lieutenant Daniels from The Wire. I mean, anyone that watches The Wire, the guy that played Lieutenant Daniels, he was getting a coffee.
So did you bust out some lines to it?
No, he had like headphones on, man. What am I supposed to? It's just weird, man. What am I gonna do? Like, I don't know. I could have been like she, because that's what they all say, right?
Shit. What does that mean, Dr. Crusher?
You really need to watch that show, dude.
My name is Sean. Actually, my name isn't Sean. Hey, what's up, guys? No, I'm pretty sure that's my name for now, but new all-time highs. Oh, sorry. So I see XOM at 52-week highs. I mean, I don't know. Brandon mentioned all-time highs, but XOM's still going. Another name right there that I just saw on the schedule. I think, see, Feels like it might be, but BP apparently another name there. You can obviously watch Chevron, BP, British Petroleum.
No, XOM's off. Sorry, CVX.
CVX, that was the other name.
They're off their highs. They're not as strong. I'm just checking
Yeah,
XOM here because you said it. I'm looking up for you.
Okay, yeah, it doesn't matter. Someone just said 52-week highs there. I don't know if it's all-time or not. CVX got a bad wick there, but I like CVX actually. Sounds foolish. I thought I liked CVX a little bit better, Chevron, because they had that largest buyback in history. What was it, 40 billion?
It was huge.
Buyback 40 billion when their
I love
market cap
that.
was like 200 billion or something. But yeah, CVX with a monster buyback, and you can sort of see why. They've fallen off though. I feel like their earnings were somewhere around there.
Highs.
CVX fallen down. I don't really know why, as opposed to what ExxonMobil's doing. So I just kind of wish I knew a little bit more about all this stuff, and then I'd have a better feel for it. But for right now, I don't know. Did you find out?
It is all-time.
It is all-time highs.
It is all-time highs.
So great. I mean, I remember when we had Kevin O'Leary. He's going to come by next week, I believe. We had. He was here when oil was going zeros, actually. It was just kind of a fluke that oil went down there. And he was talking about XOM being a buy, and it was down at 30 and change. So it's nice to see XOM all the way back up. I mean, there's been a lot of stocks like that. I like to look at Chevron, of course, when we're up there. But look what else is falling down right now. Amazon's come back in. I feel like Bed Bath is coming back in a bit as well.
It did.
Yeah, so our net is there. And you got a great reload on that, so congratulations on that one for your XOM trade.
We'll see what happens with Alibaba. Baba just touched 103, so I saved myself 3 cents by getting 5s instead of 8s. We'll see what happens there. But a bit of a down up there. It actually held 97s or so. I tend to run a stop, usually very creatively, either like 5 or 10 cents below an even level like that. In this particular case, I went with 10 cents. I think it's the distinction without a difference. But if we're going to bounce off a level, we're going to bounce off 103. I said I'd be here, so I took the long. I haven't gotten anything out yet, but I will once it gets probably to like that 20 mark. Brendo?
I was going to mention this when we came on it too, but forgot. Fisker. I saw a few people mentioning Fisker during the midday today, down 8% here. It was Magna reported. Shout out to Canada. Magna with a terrible report. They're down, I think, 10% right now in Toronto. Higher costs was the forecast for Magna. So Magna is Fisker's main supplier. So FSR down 8 here, guys.
So this is hilarious.
I used to own Magna, and I liked that name.
Remember when Randy was talking about it?
Yeah.
I was like, I don't own it, but I mean, whatever. I have enough stuff in my TFSA. And I was like talking about it to my wife. She's like, what should I put in my TFSA? And it was literally the day that Randy was talking about it. I'm like, I don't know. We were talking about Magna.
Damn, Randy.
And so she bought some.
There is a small, I think it's 3 or 4%.
No, they got a good dividend, but it's like the timing of it wasn't all that good. But it doesn't matter. It's like you hold on to it forever and then see what happens. Like I said, I just got into Baba. Oh, look at that. Call it back up and you ring the register. It just got into the 20s there. So
yeah,
thank you very much, Alibaba. That bounces off 103. Be very particular about the prices you take. You know, I've only traded it around 2 levels. Well, okay, off of 2 levels, but at 2 prices as well. Like when it held the 103, we took it on the way up, trending up, and then on the way back, it was that buyer at 105, 103.50, and now we're buying it off that 103. Let's see how far it can go. I mean, the market is going up. I'll have to check back in on Meta and JD.com, obviously, but Tesla's more flat than anything else. Is Alphabet going to even move today?
I got out of Alphabet because honestly I was tired of it.
You might be right. I mean,
I just didn't want to look at it anymore. I didn't have that many shares.
Not going to 94.
I got up 55. What is that?
Yeah, it's right back in the middle. It's not giving a reason to add off the low. So you're not getting a chance to add at the low of the day. And then you're not really getting a move to the upside. So if I'm not going to do anything with it, I should just take it out. I mean, look, I like where PayPal is at. I can get out flat here. So I'm now out of Alphabet. Sometimes you make that decision. Like PayPal, I feel I shouldn't have taken some out there. It happens. That's trending a little bit better. I think you could get more of an explosive move. Tesla, I think, can get to VWAP. And then you were right about Bed Bath & Beyond. It is printing a little bit. Like I got another fill down here. My approach is, if it was my intention to short the pop and then play the range out, even if I don't get any shares here, like this late in the day, I still should be trying to get some out off those bottoms because you don't know how far it's going to go to the downside. And each time it moves down, you should take the advantage to get in, just like you want to take the advantage of getting some on the way to the upside. So every time it goes down another level, I'm just going to be on that bid and, take some more out. Got to be able to do it. Meta, again, is bouncing off of those lows. Lower high here this time. At some point, I should just get out. With the market as strong as it feels like, I feel like I should just get out if I see the low. I said this last time and didn't do it. If I see the low of the day, I'm just going to get out in front of it on Meta. There's some signs that we could be trying to break the trend on the NASDAQ, and if we do, I don't want to be caught at the bottom, not taking profit. And if Meta breaks the low and takes out this bottom, there will be opportunities to get back into it if it just starts trending down again.
All right, so yeah, great call there. And then look, it's about scalping in and out. There's absolutely, Neil hit the nail on the head when he said it's all about what prices you get. Like, I could have reloaded that Amazon right there and coulda, woulda, shoulda, but didn't. And again, like, that would have been another key price. But for me, I was like, I didn't want to like only get out of half down here and then let it rip back up and then I average in and then it takes me out at 70, because honestly, guys, net, like, that's a problem, because that's how I've been losing lately. I let it come, well, not lately, but before. Whatever, doesn't matter. This is how I lose. When it comes back up, I average in, and then when it breaks, then what's happened is I'm getting out on an amount that's double the amount that I took out when I was in a winning trade. So I didn't average back into it because my conviction on what this market wants to do. And again, look, it's 315, it is what it is, right? But like, this market is still flat and not doing anything.
True.
So like, you know, I feel like you got to give your head a shake a little bit if you think there's going to be a huge move coming here. So what I did is the same thing. Amazon came right back down. Let's ring the register on that. So we'll go money on that one. And then we'll go like this. And then we'll go like this, because it still is a cash cow coming through here on Amazon. We still like that trade. And then I'm with Neil completely. I mean, we're trading a lot of the same names, but it's the same ideas. Bed Bath & Beyond just fell down. So we took actually 2 outs there at 32. You don't see it because it's the same out. But we got multiple gateways. We got them both out. And now we'll see if a 30 will hold on Bed Bath & Beyond. I'm not going to see anything. I'm bidding 30. Hopefully we get flat on that. Not flat, but hopefully we get some position out. And then we only have a small amount of this, because honestly, just bleeding down. I still want to hold for that last move on Bed Bath & Beyond. That could be forthcoming. All right, and then AMD as well. I only have one piece left, man. We got it a quarter. Well, we can get out more, but we only have a quarter left. I'm still trying to hold out for VWAP on this name because we're still long down there, and we're going to hold out for VWAP. And by the way, I want to give a shout out to Mark, who, by the way, looks exhausted. So thanks, Mark, for all the hard work, first of all. Man. I don't know if I'm allowed to say that. But then the second point was, remember when you were having basically, we shouldn't joke about this, but the lights were flashing back and forth and you couldn't focus?
It was kind of bad at the open
so
the
Mark
other day.
has solved that problem with
Mark.
bad wire. So he only had to unhook about 20 different wires to find out the problem.
Well, we're turning back down here, big.
That's why he's great at project managing. Okay, there's Amazon right there. Nice move to the downside. So let's go, man. This one is deserving of this, because there's the money spinning through on Amazon, and it's a good trade, man. We shorted it, and there it is. Boom goes Amazon right down to the downside right there. So that's a good trade for us. So ding, we shorted that one and put that one in our pocket. Amazon for the W. How do you make that's more of a V? But we take the W on Amazon, and this list, we're not moving on. We're still here. We want more. Let's go Amazon, more downside for this guy.
So I'll show first. I mean, I did get a nice fill there on Meta at the low of the day, but this just happened. We got the rest of Alibaba in front of the low. At some point, it's going to break this level, and it could get ugly on Baba. This is a level I will take a reverse on, by the way, but it's probably going to be at that 90 range. So that 102.90 is where I'd actually reverse this into the short side of the trade. I said I'd do it, so I went ahead and did it on Meta. I think I can get back in. I just got low of the day, but every single pop I'm going to be shorting on Meta. I don't need all of those offers, but I will be there at that 174. Every single time it consolidates, I'm just going to go ahead and short it some more. That's the way it's been going. But Baba, there it is. It just hit 90s. Ooh,
yes.
Oh, that's right. We have to send 2 orders. I said that this morning.
You did. See, that's part of...
That's jokes. No, so just to explain what I'm talking about there is at Day Trade the World, and I assume everywhere, but maybe you don't have to, we actually have to send 2 orders to reverse from a long to a short, 1 coded to sell, 1 coded to short sell. I knew that.
Legally, you have to do that everywhere.
No, you do.
I would think.
Like, I can't just have X number of shares and then have a stop order for 2X, then it reverses me, but it's actually 2 separate orders. So that was me just realizing that I hadn't reversed short and then punching in myself. When we say punching in, by the way, that's just us removing liquidity to get into a position. I'm hitting the bid instead of waiting on the offer. It's like a figure of speech. And PayPal is back to VWAP, so this one's trying to hold up, dumped into VWAP. I said I'd reload at VWAP. Let's see if it can get back to the high. It's relatively strong, so if the market bounces, we have a chance. Tesla did break support. maybe not flushing, but it was enough for me to get out of it on the reload. I don't need to hold on to it. It gave you a couple of good legs there. Maybe the trend is still to the upside, but I didn't need to hold on when the market was making that reversal. We can make another judgment call. It's going to be a lot of in and out scalping when it's like 40 minutes left. The things that you hold on to the trend are the ones that are showing you the trend is good. Like, I mean, JD here, I don't really have a target, to be honest with you, on JD because, quite frankly, there's no lows. Even on the daily chart, there's nothing down here. It's not going to drop $7 or anything on me. So maybe like 51.50 just because it happens to be a round number.
So, Neil, we didn't even talk about this. I'm going to assume that it's a nothing burger because Brennan didn't have it, but they shot down another balloon over
There's another balloon?
Apparently. From the New York Times, Pentagon downed another object. I don't know if it's a balloon or not. I just said, another balloon? But this was a while ago. I know there's some people, that's 47 minutes
Seriously?
ago. I saw it. So I thought maybe that would create the market, to go to that was Michael Noss messaging me there, to the downside. So I don't know, but you know, the market's falling down. That was 50 minutes ago, so it was a ways away, but I did retweet that. Look at the market now starting to bounce back down below. So again, guys, you know, the Amazon, I don't know. I just found it funny that they sent out, Amazon, okay, let's take another bid, man. We still got a decent position on here for Amazon, so. I don't know, man. I'm pretty happy with this trade. I'm not going to sit here and complain about it, but Amazon making a nice move down here. Let's take it, man. And this one will go bang for you, Henry, and then bang for you, Comp SRX1. And then what's up to the next person that says, and then what's up, David? We'll go siren alert for that one because down goes Amazon. Another win here on Trader TV Live. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. I think we're doing a pretty good job. It's 3:20 in 10 minutes. Brendan will give us a little bit of an update on the imbalance locator, and then we'll see where we go from there. But for right now, man, all aboard on the short train, it looks like, because, yeah, we're starting to extend down a little bit.
A little bit of extension to the downside, but I just got into Bobo. First things first, I got another bid on Bed Bath & Beyond. I'm almost out of this thing. Maybe you get one more push. I don't know. We could, we couldn't. Whatever happens. I just missed getting Phil down here at the 75 level on Alibaba. It broke 103. That's why I like 75s, not like 50s. For the 2 outs, if we trend to the downside, we'll try to hold on to it. When the imbalances come out, or the early look, I should say, comes out at 330, you know, I'll be interested to see if it comes to the sell side. I like the shorts a little bit more to try to add into them. Other than that, hold on to Dodge. Make sure you have an out. I do still have PayPal left. That one didn't really break VWAP. It's now attempting to. You know, kind of holding out. If one's going to do it, maybe it's going to be PayPal. It's already made its low. Higher lows being put in. I feel pretty solid if the market rallies. This one could be good. But hey, the market's got to rally. And goodness, I forgot all about NVIDIA. But what's weird about that is I'm glad I forgot about NVIDIA, because my thought was that NVIDIA would flush on market weakness, and it's not doing anything. NVIDIA is just going sideways like Alphabet was. So probably a good idea to have not thought about NVIDIA at all. It was Micron that Brendan was mentioning that could be weak. And you know what? Maybe the chips just don't want to move, because this is not doing anything either. Yeah, let's stay away from the chips. They're not doing a thing, even when that market pulled back. That's strange.
That's a good one. So, I mean, I'm still long in NVIDIA. And to Neil's point, 100% true. So I'm still long in NVIDIA. I know AMD, and it's holding up to the upside as well.
Yeah, they're not going down.
They're not really doing anything, so I'm pretty confident in that. And then, again, I want to talk about, I don't want to keep talking about the same name, but you remember we went back to Amazon because we trusted it as a short. So when the short comes in, you know what, we pretty much like that one. One name that we talked about earlier that I thought was going to do more volume today. Brendan talked about this earlier. I don't know. Can't really remember what we were talking about SoFi for, but 32 million shares has done nothing today. There was someone in the chat that was asking about SoFi. Honestly, when
the setup was Michael Noss was talking about it for a swing setup. No, but I actually, when Michael came on and mentioned it, I was like, oh, I like this, but it's not there yet.
Right.
It was so essentially, if you guys watch the morning show every single Friday, Michael Noss from Trade Ideas, who's a CMT, he comes in and he talks about like longer term setup, like swing setups here. If you come to my chart quickly before Brendan, because I want to explain this. And the one he was talking about today, come to my chart, there we go, about the gap up on earnings and then the continuation. So it had the gap, the big run, and then as long as it holds the gap level, to look for either day trade, short-term longs off this level, or it holds that level, then look for it to break out on the higher time frame, which would be hold here, consolidate, break here. So that setup is forming on SoFi is what Michael Noss was getting at. But for a day trader, you're either waiting for it to get down to the low to buy that low around 6.25, or waiting for it to get back to the top and break out the top. So it was more of a setup thing that he was talking about there. That's why the hype around SoFi, not because of today. Brendo.
Just watch your Bed Bath & Beyond positions. Anyone who's looking at it, apparently, a few people circulating this anyways. Bed Bath & Beyond Canada has filed Companies Creditor Arrangement Act under some sort of law here in this country. So people speculating it might be just a matter of time for the US one to come through. So it looks like Bed Bath & Beyond Canada filing some sort of creditor protection.
Well, I'm going to assume that's not necessarily good. Yeah, I mean, it kind of popped, like a little bit. I'll get on the offer for more. I'm just going to get on the offer. I'm not going to, I mean, you have to get an uptick anyways, right? So what's the worst thing? I mean, it's making a trend to the downside anyways. Every single pop has been good to short the thing. So I'll hop on the offer at 34 and see if there's anything to this. It doesn't mean there is. Whatever. I mean, I think it's worth a shot here, but the market's not really reacting to it in any way. So, we'll just take a shot. I was already looking for potential reloads. BABA, it's doing the up-down thing now off that 103. Like, it's not going back through 103. Ugh. But it's also putting this wick bottom in a couple of green candles. I hate getting trapped at the lows. You guys know how I feel about it. So, I'm just going to go ahead and say if it gets past like 103.10, I do not need to be holding on to this. I like the fact that it could trend to the end of the day. But I always feel when you take a breakdown off a key level, it should work well right away. And it did not work well right away. So I have no problems or qualms getting out of that. You might have missed, he was saying that Bed Bath & Beyond Canada has potentially filed or started the bankruptcy protection process. So
there's a Bed Bath near our house, so
I got on the offer to see if I can get more, but
I want to get a new my Soda Stream thing isn't working so great, so I was thinking about getting a new Soda Stream thing. Maybe I'll have to go to Bed Bath & Beyond to grab it.
They have. I saw this product my wife was sending to me. It's like a Keurig for like alcohol. Like it makes
it has a I can see that. That's
you put
cool.
packets in and it mixes drinks. I'm like, really? The whole point of making a cocktail is to mix it yourself.
I like the mixing
That's the
part.
whole point. Anyways,
part.
I saw that. I was like, really? That's a business idea?
Wow.
It costs like $400. Like, who the hell's spending that kind of money?
Wait a minute.
Make your own
so you
drinks,
buy
bro.
like a little thing that was
and then you
like
got to pay
margarita.
Then you buy little pods for like a margarita, like a Manhattan. Oh. It's like, really? Rich people have too much money. It's just, I don't know.
Well, I mean,
that's
why they're rich, but they have too much money.
I'll tell you this right now. There are certain things. I could have $1 billion and I would never buy. I don't care. I'm making my own cocktails. Sorry. It's ridiculous. I just saw it and was like, what the hell? So I got out of Alibaba. Okay, it was a good one early on. The longs are probably better off of those levels. I took the short, didn't really pan out. I'm not going to fight it. The better way to play this is to trend to the downside. So if it makes a fresh low or continues to trend, playing the breakdown is not the way to get in. I'll look for either holding here and get in on the trend where I have better entry points and then don't have to worry about it. We only have 30 minutes left. I don't want to be fighting anything. And I'm not even filled on the offer of Bed Bath & Beyond. That's how ridiculous that is. It doesn't even want to give me anything on the offer. Yeah, I put on the offer like 2 minutes ago, and I can't even get a fill. But Meta just popped up a little bit, so you know what that means. That means look for curl, short curl, and then profit when it goes back to the low of the day. At some point, this is going to stop working, or not. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, I mean that's part of it.
Or it doesn't stop working.
Yeah. All right. So. Yeah, I don't know about that drink dispenser thing, but that sounds pretty cool.
I forget the name of it, but it's...
Yeah, no, it's okay.
Oh, someone said we had one at a jewelry store I worked at in Miami. That's Britt Burden. It was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe it is. You know what?
I could see it in a sales office.
Yeah, if you're serving or like a party.
Underneath my desk right here. Yeah, I mean...
At an office? Not in my home.
Not a party. No.
Not in my home. Like
it'd be too expensive, man. A party, you want to have the whole thing. You just pour the drink in. You mix it your damn
one
self.
at a time.
It's like we have one of those Keurigs, but it's not a Keurig. It's an espresso.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's funny.
At a salon, maybe.
The pod is still like $1 or $1.20.
Yeah,
and by the time you're making a coffee, it's kind of like, okay, I mean, are you really saving that much money? I mean, you could brew a whole kettle full.
Oh, here's a question.
Carafe.
Someone just asked,
Coffee carafe.
Quentin just said, why not use a market order on Bed Bath & Beyond?
For what?
To get short. Well, okay, well, first
cannot.
of all, I put an offer at 34. The reason I'm not getting filled is because it came back down. But you can't, like, even if I sent a market sell order, it's down 10% today, was down more than that yesterday and more than that the day before. So it's short sell restricted. That means you can only initiate a short position off of the bid by hitting the bid with an uptick. So your market order is just going to sit there on the offer anyways. That means it's no good. Like it'll just, whether I offered 34s to send a market order, it's going to wait at 34 for fill anyways, or an uptick. So there's really almost no point doing it. It's going to have to come up first to be able to pick me up. That rule, I forget when they put that back in. It used to be, the uptick rule when we started trading was on every stock.
Yeah, what is it now?
Now it's only if the stock is SSR.
Oh, you mean for the we're talking about
but
SSR.
But it used to be, when we started, in like, I was 03, you 02, every stock was short sell restricted.
Yeah.
And you need an uptick to be able to remove liquidity from the bid. I mean, I don't know. Whatever. We're not here to debate rules. I can tell you what they are.
But that's why when he asked the question, I mean, you answered it perfectly. I'm sure that's what he wanted to hear.
I would trust me, I would have just hit the bid and gotten short if I could.
Yeah,
but
I think we all would.
You can't do it.
No, exactly. So, so that's the reason why. So there you go. Thanks
Meta.
for that one.
I guess maybe this time it doesn't work.
What do you mean here comes Meta? What's going on now? The market's
just bouncing a little bit.
Okay, yeah, because I was going to say is I just took another piece out of Amazon right there at 17 or 18 or 19, whatever that price was. Good out there, but not great. So we're just going to have to wait to see, if we can make that out even a little bit better for us. So we're going to wait on that one on Amazon. Again, nice profitable spot. We did take some profit on Bed Bath & Beyond at 31. I missed that story, but I don't think this is going to go anywhere. Brendan, right now, $340 million to sell on the market on close, imbalance,
That's
low.
tiny.
KTOR. PayPal's still up 2.5%, 3% almost now. Lyft down 36. Let me look at that. So Lyft right now,
that's kind of flat,
whoopsies.
though.
All we're trying to do is lift our nets into the
why did I
close
get-
here. So we're trying to find names that have. We need the hi hat.
The what?
A hi hat, like dum.
Oh yeah,
like
of
when
course
you're doing
we need
those
that.
stupid dumbass dad
There's
jokes.
a lot of easy ones we need.
Yeah,
I'll do this though.
Yeah, you do
I
something
just
like that.
said it would work until it stops working.
Isn't that what they're called? Hi hats? I don't know.
Is that what it's called?
I don't know. I'm gonna find out. People say in the chat.
So for the first time, I got a pop up, shorted the next level, and it actually broke that high. Like you pop up, shorted, it never breaks. Shorted, it never breaks. Pop up, shorted, it actually does break. So that's how. Just get out. I'm not even fighting it when it makes that move. If it trends down, I can always jump back into it. But I'm not fighting Meta. It worked pretty much every other time we did it, so I'm not going to complain. It did keep getting the low of the day. At some point, you do that and it doesn't work. It is a symbol, rim shot on the symbol. That what it's called?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't want to get involved in rim shots for other reasons, but I think it might.
I love this chat.
I think it might be called.
I love this
Yeah,
chat.
look, I literally just Googled hi hat. I mean,
I don't know.
is.
I don't play the drums, bro.
It is, but
It is a
drum
symbol.
hi hats. I mean, it's right here. So you tell me, hi hat, musical instrument from Wikipedia. It's a combination of two symbols. Ha ha. So that is right. I think I'm right there.
Guitar or drums?
What do you mean?
Which
Me?
one? Yeah.
My dad was a drummer, so I'm gonna go with drums.
Which one would you if your kids were like
My kids.
if they're gonna play one? Which one?
Well, I mean, Baxter actually played the guitar, so I'm going to go with guitar. But
I will second that notion for obvious reasons.
I don't. I mean, I don't want to say like my kids. So yesterday, I got home and my 11-year-old was saying something. Oh, Dad, it was interesting when you were talking about ChatGPT and AI on the show and blah, blah, blah. And he started talking to me about like automating trading. And he's 11 years old. And I'm just like, what? So I'm thinking like, thank God we got these guys in programming class.
Baxter.
And all that. Well, Baxter, forget about that. That guy's at university. I don't even know what that guy's doing right now.
Well, then maybe
studying.
Barron can set up some bracket orders for us here.
Yes. Well, Baxter could do that for sure. I know that. But yeah, it
was
would be pretty awesome there. Stressla before closing. Yeah, what's up? Shout out to the Scalp Demon there behind
but the problem
us.
so the market just bounced and Stressla's going down. That's why I got
I think
out
they're
of the
trying to
long.
stress you out. Don't stress out about it. Stressla is going down. Please explain the imbalance. I don't know. You want to explain it? I mean, we always do. Why don't we explain it when it gets a little closer?
Yeah, we still have 15 minutes before it comes in here. Okay,
Douglas Klein, we will do it.
The quick answer on the imbalances are the market open and the market close.
Oh, you know what
The
else?
open and closing price are determined by an auction. An auction is where you get buy orders sent in that are marketable at set open. They hold all those orders together, compile them, get an equilibrium price, and then boom. But what they do before that open, so whether it's 9:30 or the close close at 4 o'clock is they make the imbalance public, which is the net difference between the buy orders and the sell orders. They're in the book. And that indicates, oh, there's too many buy orders, you have a buy imbalance. And then they make it public so that you won't have too much volatility in the opening and the closing. Because if I see, or some big whale sees there's a big buy imbalance and wants to sell shares, they know they can put that order into the auction without moving the price. So they publish it 10 minutes early to everybody that has market access at 3:50, and then the prints come at 4 o'clock. At 3:55, there's often large updates on the imbalance. I feel like we explained this. We must have a video on this.
I also feel like we said that we would explain it in 10 minutes, but you just did a great job.
I was just like, whatever.
You just went off on that.
Let me just do it
So there you
anyway.
go. So you're welcome, Douglas Klein. Someone else says, what song did you prepare for today? It doesn't matter because there's 749 likes.
Yeah, it really
the new
doesn't matter
level
then.
is 2,000.
Denied.
So 40, honestly, we're not, you guys want the fire? You're going to have to bring the fire yourself. Like, honestly, 750 likes needs to be a lot higher. I mean, we could get Fahad to spit some beats, I'm sure. I'm sure Fahad's a much better,
Fahad's good at
lyricist.
everything.
I mean,
Fahad is literally good at everything.
the problem with Fahad is we need like maybe 10,000.
What's
likes.
crazy about Fahad is Pratty Daddy is the gamer of the entire crew here.
Apparently not.
And then the second I was ready to just bet whatever amount Fahad opened his mouth to
Same as me.
on Fahad beating, on Prad beating Fahad in the video game, like before I can even finish saying it, Prad turns to me like, yo, Fahad would beat me. I'm like, what?
I just don't know if Prad's just saying that to not have any smoke or what. So
I still
don't know.
believe it. I'm in disbelief because Prad, I don't know, Prad thinks
Prad is
quick,
serious.
man.
He's a serious
He's quick.
dude.
I'm
He's a
just
serious
saying.
Dude. He's a serious gamer.
You could take him, Prad.
Fahad is
You
built.
can take him.
Here we go, Fahad. This is for you in the chat. Fahad's built different. I can definitely confirm that. He is. I mean, look. If you talk
he's
about
different.
any sport,
He's different.
the minute I knew I really liked this guy was honestly when he first started here and I was talking with him
I
back and
remember this,
forth,
yeah.
and I was like, okay, everything. No, I'm not going to small cap recap. So I'm going eventually. But this is the thing. So Fahad goes to me. I was like, hey man, like, where do you work before and all this kind of stuff. I was just like talking to him, and he goes, look, to be completely honest with you, I only ever applied for one job, and it was this, and I got it. So it's like that confidence right there. As soon as I heard him say
True
that,
story.
it was just like, dude, I've only ever applied for one job and I'm here right now. So it's like that kind of confidence, but that's what you got to have. Like one job interview, bang, here's the offer. Like, I mean, this is how this guy's rolling. So big shout out to Prad and Fahad. Those guys are really tuning it up over there. I feel like we have so much better things, so many better things to come. Many different things coming and better with our production. And we've already seen it there. Prad was doing on the 1s and 2s yesterday off that beat. You
And
saw
there's
mixing,
more we'll do with that green screen.
And there's a lot more coming. I want to say, and also this is another thing about Prad. Often, certain people, not you or I, but possibly on other shows, on still part of us, they don't turn their mics on.
Oh, I don't.
And then everybody in the chat is like, oh, what's going on, Prad? But it's those guys.
It's not.
They don't have their mics on. So I'm here to have Prad's back on that one. Anyways, okay.
Back to the market for a quick second.
Okay.
I just got a reload on JD, and I was saying in the chat there, my stop, I want to trail this one out at 52.10, like just right here. But short the pops, it's been working, so we'll go back to that well.
Yeah, Prad GPT.
Now we're supposed to go to Brendan for small cap recap.
Hey guys, brought to you by Trade Ideas, a comprehensive stock scanner used by active traders to quickly and efficiently identify trading opportunities every single day, featuring powerful tools like the innovative stock races you see the guys using every day as well. To check out potential trades, check out that link at the bottom of the screen right now. TraderTv20 gets you 20% off from Trade Ideas from us. This one just popping up, speaking of small cap, CETX. Trying to make a run into the close. There was a note earlier this week on regaining compliance from the NASDAQ on this one. Nothing other than that as far as excitement, though, for CETX. This is what we were talking about in the pre-market. That Hempaco huge mover yesterday, all the way back down, basically, today on an offering. Not terribly surprising, but worth a note for HPCO. Hillstream Biopharma, big mover in the pre-market as well. Also, look at that daily chart now, huge reversal. Grinds all the way back to 180. There was positive lung cancer treatment data they released for Hills. This SQL back on watch as well. There wasn't much on that today as far as news, but another grinder back downside. XPON. new distribution deal for them. The only one that's kind of maintaining what it gained this morning, or some of it anyways. We'll watch 350, 360 coming in on Monday for XPON, guys.
Okay, so two things. One, I still left that order out there in Bed Bath & Beyond, so I eventually got the fill at 34 because I was just sort of sitting there, but we are running out of time. It's getting a little bit later. I will get back on the bid. It's weird. I don't know why I bothered putting it down there. I should just be only bidding 31s because it's giving you like the slimmest of margins to get back to the downside. But just in case it flushes, I do want to have something out beneath the lows. There was another question. It was do imbalances by user, hello user,
What's up, user?
do imbalances cover dark pools? So the answer would be no. Like the only orders that are eligible and get displayed on the imbalance are ones that are eligible for the auction. So that's market on close orders, that's limit on close orders. They're a specific order type that only execute. Like if I put a market on close buy into Bed Bath & Beyond right now, you'd see nothing happen to the stock. Nothing. It's not even eligible to fill. Like I could put a market on close buy $10 on Bed Bath & Beyond. Nothing is happening with that order until 4 o'clock. So it just goes into the auction book. So it's nothing to do with dark pools. Only market on close eligible orders or limit and market at the open or the close happen. So nothing to do with dark pools. Dark pools do have their own sort of like some dark pools. I should say not all. Some dark pools have their own. Like little block auctions throughout the day where you might see prints go off, and I should be taking something out here on PayPal as it just bounced up a little bit and I got nothing. But sometimes you'll see that happen where they have these auction prints that go off and they can report them whenever the heck they want. Doesn't have to be. It's like they're not subject to the same rules of when do you report your trades. So this wick here, 8160, could literally be reporting a trade on PayPal from this morning. That could be a print from somewhere in the aftermarket or maybe sometime in yesterday's trade, and that's why you get these crazy wicks from time to time. If they're just late reporting prints and dark pools, that's separate from the auction, which is only the open and the close, or when stocks halt, they reopen with an auction, and there's an imbalance on those reopens.
All right. In case you wanted to know, apparently D. Hopkins is available in our pool, so I want to say thank you.
You don't want to want Hopkins, man.
Oh, man.
I'm going to make a post. Anytime someone in our fantasy league tries to offer a washed-up veteran, I'm just going to be like, you can have this young player. So you know who wants to sell his old running backs?
Yeah,
Mixon.
Okay.
So anytime he hits somebody up and just be like, yeah, and Dameon Pierce is available too, so come talk to me.
Yeah, I mean, we're in a keeper pool where you keep only 9, though. I was thinking we should maybe up that. Wouldn't it be better?
Dynasty, please. Dynasty.
Yeah, but the reason why we didn't want to do that was because of the draft. But I think what if we went to like even 11 or 12 keep? I don't know. Then
I have zero objection.
Or force. Yeah, but then if you say you have to keep a certain amount of rookies, I don't know. I don't know if that's good, but I don't know. I'm just wondering if we should maybe keep a little bit more.
Art Monk is available. I like that.
DTTW.
Only
Yuri.
I know who that guy is, B-Fanatic. You know Art Monk.
Art Monk, yeah.
Hall of Fame for Washington.
Washington, yeah.
But he was on. Well, actually, I don't like Art Monk. He was on Washington when they beat the Bills in the Super Bowl. So.
Of course we
Yeah,
know.
now I don't like him anymore because I just remember
Warren
that.
Moon's available. I mean, there's a lot.
I don't like Mark Rippon either. That's Mark Rippon.
I saw Jim Kelly last
Phil
night on the
Simms.
MVP award, on the awards there. So shout out to old school Buffalo Bills there, Jim Kelly. It's too bad because that guy. It would have been nice for that guy to win a ring for sure.
Yeah.
He's well liked.
Jim Kelly is one of the best human beings.
That's what I'm saying. So it would have been really nice to have some Jim Kelly love right there. What about
Jim Kelly?
Yeah, Thurman Thomas.
Tom Brady.
Thurman Thomas is there too. Reed was there.
Andre
I mean, the
Reed,
Bills had
Bruce,
a sick.
Bruce
I mean,
Smith.
we know they had a sick
Steve
team,
Tasker, baby, all day,
Steve
every day.
Tasker.
Steve
Let's
Tasker.
go with special teams, Steve Tasker, right now. Okay, George Hollis. Yeah, he cleared. Mark Rippon. Warren Moon, Canadian. I mean, you want to talk?
No,
about
he played in
that.
the CFL. Warren. Moon.
Sorry, not Canadian. Mark Rippon was Canadian.
I didn't know that. I still don't. I mean, you beat
beat
the Bills. I don't like you. It's just I don't care.
I don't think Mark Rippon.
I don't care
was
if he's Canadian.
Was he Canadian? Mark Rippon. Doug Flutie? I don't know about Mark Rippon.
Boston College.
Doug Flutie's not
Doug
Canadian
Flutie,
either.
the Hail Mary, Boston College is amazing.
Yeah, CFL.
Don't even bring up Scott Norwood, Chip.
He is.
We draw the line. We draw the line at bringing up Steve. Don't bring up.
I know
Norwood
Warren
around
Moon
here,
is.
man.
Trust me. On that Houston Oilers. I mean, he
was the quarterback when Frank Reich came back from 30-something down.
I was going to say that the
Warren
Music City Miracle. against the Bills again.
That was an illegal, whatever, man. That was a penalty.
What is going on with the Bills, man? You guys got to get your shit
now
together.
you're just trying to trigger me. You know, every time you bring up that, I'm like, I've seen that play a million times, and I still say it should have been a penalty.
Well, the thing is, you know what? A penalty. I was wondering if it was not but they didn't have replays back then, right? So you couldn't question if it was a forward
pass. Put a chip in the ball and tell me that wasn't,
forward
slightly
pass.
Moving forward.
Yeah, I think that might have been as well, right there. Okay, let's move on here. So AMD, just into the close now. It's 343. The imbalance is still 347 million to sell. Lift day lows. That's so crazy because I was talking about Lift and then we got sidetracked there. I wanted to look at this because I noticed it was still down 36%, and it's taking the lows right now. So Lift looks nasty on the daily chart. I mean, will this fill the gap back up? I don't think anytime soon. Not on what they were talking about. So we'll wait to see what Lift's doing. The daily chart's going to look, of course, or the minute chart's going to look a little bit messed up. But here you are. You're bouncing off the lows again. So, breaking lower here on Lift. Okay, now it's really starting to go. It's SSR, so you're not going to be. I want to get short Lift right now. I don't know what's going on with it, but there's a lot of volume coming in. Not what's going on, but there's a huge move down there in Lift. I'm going to try to get short.
There's probably going to be an imbalance on this thing.
Yeah, I'm going to try to get short here into the close for Lift, taking down these lows. The thing is that how can I get short?
It has to tick up.
I'm crossing into it right now with dark pools, all that kind of stuff. I'm on here on a I don't know if I have all the keys set up for that. I'm just using a bats to cross in here, like an Edge X, to get a mid print. More likely I'm going to get a mid fill. You can actually get a mid fill because technically that would be an uptick off the bid, so you can still get those fills. But look, see, here it goes. I don't know. I can't. See, you can't get it. I cannot punch. I can't punch short.
Use super midpoint.
Did you get some?
I just got super. Well,
I just got some now.
Yeah, now you don't want it.
Now I got lit up. Okay, now my average price is 25.
I'm just going to get more.
Right now. Okay, so now we're, okay. Come to the party.
Get it when it goes against
Come to the party right now. We're short at 25 here on Lift. We just got to go. When it blew up there, we got some more shares. Short. Okay, let's just slow. This is where we got to slow down. So let's slow down here. I don't have a lot of shares, but I'm willing to take some more. This could be my stop. What is this? Just this level right
30.
here since we broke it. The volume really came in on this break.
31.
It's 31. So
31, right.
31, 32, something like that on Lift. So I'm willing to go short, more short here until that breaks. And if we're wrong, we're wrong. But did you see the levels there? The reason why I got involved in this, too bad we don't have the instant replay. Brad was talking about
I know what you were talking about.
Instant replay. There was so much size there, and that's why I was like, let's get involved now because something's up. So we'll wait to see. My out's going to be, let's give it a little more. Let's give it a little more. We're having a good day. Let's give it a 35. So anything wrong with 35, we're going to get out on Lift. So we're only short 25, 10 cents worth of risk. I don't know, should be okay. All right, let's take some more shares short at 30, but then 35 is my out on Lift. I got to deal with this, sorry.
Yeah, I mean, what you're talking about there, when it's short sell restricted, you can't hit the bid. So offers that are trying to hit the bid to get out of position or get into shorts are just sitting there on the offer. So it stacks up, and they just keep following it down over and over again until there's an uptick. So what'll usually happen is it'll move down, everybody gets filled when there's an uptick, but if that happens again, it just means whoever is trying to sell is not really done selling. So it's actually leveling off here. It means we'll get more. The thing that interests me is if you get a sell imbalance on this. That gets more interesting. I'm going to get back on the offer. I'm going to get out of Bed Bath & Beyond. It's actually creeping up here, which is weird. It hasn't been doing this at the end of the day. If anything, it's been going the other direction. So I just got out of Bed Bath & Beyond. I don't want to fight it. I still have PayPal. JD broke 52.10. PayPal's hanging around above VWAP. I'm just going to I'll tighten up my stop because imbalances come in 3 minutes, and then we'll just roll with this at the end of the day. Like this one, if the market breaks higher, maybe PayPal can go. It did have earnings, but I just want to hang on to what I have here. So I throw in a trailing stop right underneath VWAP so I don't have to worry about it, and then we can move on to Lift, which, hey, if it has a sell imbalance, that could get really spicy.
Thanks for mentioning that we only had 3 minutes left. So I just noticed AMD just went right to VWAP. Yeah, now 2. AMD went right to VWAP, so I'm going to sit here and short that 81.40, or get out, sorry, at 81.40. There's been so many times that I've sat here and left orders pending and then got burned by that. So I'm going to wait for AMD to rip back up. I told you we don't want to be in a position if this is what's going to happen to us. So, yeah, we're going to be out of this one right now and then just wait to see where it goes from here. So we're going to get out. Did we get that fill? We're at 35. I thought I was at 35. on AMD. I am, so okay. Hopefully it'll move up to 35 and we'll get out of that one and then we'll just work on it from there. So that's gonna be that trade. Amazon, we already have our out. We're gonna just respect that 70 out. Don't know if that's gonna come into play or not, but that's what we're gonna do. And then Lyft, of course. Lyft just went, Lyft just went into the money there for me, back to 23. We didn't get any fills, and now it's going back to the upside. So yes, I think we are right. There are going to be a lot of imbalances coming through here, and I would say Lyft is probably prime for that. So I would watch, okay, here we go. So we're going to be wrong. We just took another fill there at 30. Remember what? Too bad. That's too bad. Now Lyft is starting to lift off here. We're going to give it to 30.
I want to hold out till, I want it to hold till the imbalance.
Me too. I'm trying to hold this out as well. So hopefully, we don't have an upside position. We have a position though into this. It's really only a couple hundred shares at this point, so I'm not super nervous about it. But we want to get a little bit more and make a more serious trade here into 35, 36. So I'm going to use that. So I have a much better offer right here, like I was talking about before, 32, 33. So we take a little fill there. The volume's not really here right now, so I'm not sure this is going to be the right call. But we only have 30 seconds now until the imbalances. So.
Yeah, so imbalances in 30 seconds. Oh, goodness, we got to figure out the stakes. But there is, look, we're going to have a bet on the Super Bowl. I'm taking the Chiefs. We don't care about the points. I really don't give a damn. I think it's only like one anyway, so who cares? So I'm taking the Chiefs, and Sean's going to be on Philly. We did not figure out the stakes. So how about you guys give us some ideas, but try not to spam. Maybe don't spam the chat with it. Like just send us like DMs and stuff, or tweet at us some ideas for what we can do for a bet. We're kind of open to just about anything as long as it's not totally ridiculous. But yeah, I'm on the Chiefs. Maybe I should have worn a Chiefs jersey today. I'll wear it if they win. I'll just wear it on Monday though.
Yeah. I mean, it's going to be a great Super Bowl regardless. I think that's going to be good. Okay, here comes the imbalances right now.
I don't see it. Don't see it.
I mean,
AMD sell 1 million.
AMD is sell, so that's a good thing we got out.
Lyft isn't there.
Not there?
No. Not so. It's NASDAQ, but I still don't see it. Yeah, it's not really moving either. AMD was the biggest one. I'm now just kind of going alphabetical so I can find Lyft. But AMD to sell 1 million was the biggest of the imbalances. I'm still scrolling. Come on. There's a lot of... Obviously, the market has a lot of symbols, so as I'm scrolling down to find Lyft, and it probably doesn't have anything.
Honestly.
It's not moving.
Either going to make a move
but it's not moving anyway. So Lyft is a very small buy, 165,000. So whatever, 165,000 into 134 million shares done on the day is the definition of an insignificant. Ford's a buy. That's really not that big. Apple's a very small sell, 580,000. So pretty insignificant across the board. It actually, you know what? Lyft actually did hold that 30, but with no action there.
There's no volume coming.
No, there's no volume. I'm going to get some out. If it just pops right back down into like 25, I'll get some bids. Just in case it flushes, I'll take half out. No imbalance action to play with. PayPal, I still have it, but with running out of time here, that last little pop, I'll probably just try to get some more shares out of PayPal. It's not moving. The market's not moving, and what was that? Fahad wants to try something.
I just want to, before we go over to Fahad, just quickly here, Lyft is coming down, so I have some bids. Again, it's not going to be a huge trade, obviously, because we don't have that many shares. Well, we have a decent position, like I said, but it's nothing really. We'll see if we can just buy a bottle of wine with this. Let's see if, darn it. Like, I want to get these 23s. I don't know if it's going to come through. We're only short 27, so this is not going to be rocket science, but we're going to try to do it anyways. All right, what does Fahad want to try? Yeah, Fahad wants to try.
Like, subscribe, and share the show that takes you into the heart of the market every day, guys.
Yeah. I mean, great job.
Boom, where's that button?
An absolutely great job.
Where's that button on my board so I can hit that?
Hit it again. I want to see that again.
Hit that. He's making just just one quick thing
Anyways,
here.
That's great. Thanks, Fahad. That was great.
GFAI, I see a lot of people talking about this halted. Given the time that this halted after 350, just forget about 5 minutes. It's going to open at 4 o'clock. The close on a halt in the last 10 minutes is, in fact, the open. So at 4 o'clock, it'll go right into aftermarket trading, and that'll be the next print. I don't know. It looks like it's just a volatility halt to the upside. I don't know if there's any accompanying news why this happened or if it's just a technical break, lack of liquidity. So be careful trading that one, guys. And what do I think?
Like, subscribe, and share the show that takes you into the heart of the market every day, guys.
I really like that.
I love how it says guys at the end like that because he always says that. So,
guys. He says guys a lot.
Someone said, yeah, I thought Sharif was not in the office today. Yeah, we film things other than the current day, so that was. I don't want to give it up.
How dare you?
I don't want to tell people that, but what? You know, like we release
do
videos every
everything live.
weekend, and sometimes
No, we hit the button, and he's standing over there and then says it each time in front of a green
screen. Keep it down,
screen.
Sharif, over there. Keep it down, Sharif. No, thank you for that.
Wouldn't
that was
that be
really
cool?
cool, man. That was really cool.
This is now
thanks, man.
squeezing
Thanks
up.
for
I'm
that.
getting out.
Thanks for that.
I give up.
So by the way, what turned out to be a bottle of wine was the other way there on Lyft. So Lyft, and I changed my mind. I got out at 30 when it broke 30, so I actually got a 31 fill, so that was a pretty good fill there. I just didn't want, once that didn't move, we got out right there of Lyft. So, I mean, we would be getting out right now, which would be even worse. So we got 31 instead of 36. So still bad trade. Not bad. Well, bad trade. Yeah, I mean, it was a losing trade. So right there. Our AMD, I don't know, like obviously it's ripping up, but that's the risk there because when that came out to sell, it went all the way down to 81.20, right? If the market does continue that sell pressure, which it doesn't do, then yeah. And remember this morning when I said we could be in for a boring day? The market's going to close right where it opened, but there was some decent opportunities in here. Not much into the close. We made some money here this afternoon. I mean, really glad that we were able to take this Amazon trade all the way to the downside. We did hold that 20%, so it sucks to lose a little bit on that one. We did make a great AMD trade for you as well right there. It looks like a short sell because I had an offer back up there. That trade doesn't work out that great for us getting out, but it's still a good trade. And then Tesla trying to get back upside. So Tesla right now, 198, doesn't look like it wants to break. So that would be a stopping spot there as it's view up and some tops there. We'll keep this in mind for Monday. We'll be back obviously Monday bright and early at 8:30, where you'll get our watch list, sticky note, and some more trading ideas into earnings. There'll probably be a few earning names there on Monday, but generally Friday night and Monday morning,
it's quiet.
Stocks don't report. So whether or not there's going to be a name or not, most likely not, but you could surprise you with something. I don't know.
Yeah, and you'll see. I just got no more positions. I just got out of PayPal there. It got back up to 81, so I was able to grab some as reclaim that high. Decent bit off view up, but what's interesting about PayPal, it looks like a good day, but Danielle Shea was on, and she talked about PayPal. Have a quick look at the bigger picture on PayPal.
Yeah.
You know, the bigger picture does not look good whatsoever. I know it's up after earnings, but you can slap a trend line on it. You can look at the 200 period and say, you know, it tried to go up. Its high of the day is rejecting the 200 period moving average, and it's on a downward trend. So as much as it was a good long, you know, I might feel like that 83 level on PayPal is going to be a little something next week. That 200 period moving average, definitely some overhead resistance. And even though it went up in the morning, the shorts were better when they came in. So yeah, maybe not all's well that ends well, despite the fact that this one is going to be up on the session. The market's trying to go. We're 0.5% to the downside on the NASDAQ. However, if you go by this one, congratulations. I'm not jinxing it. The ES is very likely to close positive. Why? Because energy was strong, yet no trades in energy for me. Next week, I'm going to be looking at XOM. I was looking at Oxy and it wasn't strong enough, but XOM is an absolute beast. We got to find some longs on that next week.
Yeah, guys, again, thank you for watching, man. It's 356. Oh, we can call up those imbalances one more time. We're both completely flat.
Yep.
Yeah, we are. So, yeah, I don't know. There's nothing on here. PBR, the Petrobras is Brazilian name. That's not going to do anything. Wolf, I don't even know what that is. Other than
like
that,
the Wolf.
Lyft.
Great song.
Lyft all the way back. Well, we got out right here. We got out at 30, but you're going to see Lyft coming back down to the downside. Palantir, is that at 8 flat? Now 750. Oh, yikes. Palantir got killed the last couple of days, especially this morning.
Did.
What happened this morning? Palantir, wow. Okay, I was not expecting that. I thought it was like it's still going to be around $8. Oh yeah, yesterday was a disaster for these names. 850 to 750 yesterday for PLTR. Wow, that name continues to get destroyed. Let's look at Nvidia quickly here because that was another name that I know a lot of traders were debating longs. Yeah, 209. Someone said 209 long. I don't know if that was you, Adam, or who that was there, but that was a great one, man. Right back up to VWAP. So good job on that one. As AMD and Nvidia. Remember we talked about relative strength into the close yesterday for. Was it Microsoft? I forget who it was that we talked about relative strength yesterday into the close. But just looking here, we do have some good strength now coming back in for NVIDIA. And then, of course, the long that we had was AMD. Good strength into the close on this name as well. So although it's not going to matter that much because Monday, you know, things will happen over the weekend. But that's something that I always like to look at. Relative strength versus weakness. It looks like Netflix still down 4% as well, Neil.
Kazam just said Netflix is really weak. Put into the weekend. Flat bottom breaker alert for next week on Netflix at 347. That's a flat bottom break. If I've ever seen one, Shreve may not be here. We know what it looks like when you have a key price level that could come back in. Just remember, the stock has done pretty well following the trend. So, I mean, there's probably somewhere around that 320, maybe next week it falls down to. But my goodness, that's a little bit weak the last couple of days on Netflix. I can go with that. I'm with you. That's going to be interesting. That forget about it now. There's 2 minutes to go. But that 347, I'm going to actually write that one down on my iPad right next to look at XOM. Don't have to trade it, but you got to be watching those key levels. The bottom breaks are absolutely fantastic. Thank you guys so much. It's been a heck of a lot of fun. This week ain't over just yet, but the market is at least going to be green. We kept it on the bear.
It is? Oh, the S&P.
What's interesting is we did keep it on the bear, but I don't know, man. Like you look at the S&P 500 is like it trended up today. No, that's what that looks like to me. I kind of feel like we could have switched it to the bull today. That's an upward trend for the majority of the market. I know we're flat on the day, but I'm kind of cherry picking here.
It's okay.
Felt like we got
still
good
a minute left.
bounces.
Maybe the NASDAQ rips up here, but yeah, it depends if we're talking about NASDAQ.
It's because big cap tech sucked. That's why.
Yeah. Okay, guys. Yeah, heading into the close, man. We're getting ready to rock and roll. There's Katrine. Looks like she will be ringing the bell, or no? Yes. Yes. All right, so Katrina will be on the bell in just a matter of time. Only 40 seconds till we
Canadian
go.
tuxedo?
Right now, no. Half a Canadian tuxedo. Right now for Katrine, so we'll be seeing that in a couple minutes. You're welcome to everybody, man. Thanks to Paul. Thanks to everybody for watching. Thanks, Bears vs. Bulls, another big show here today. Thank you for all the moderation and everything like that. It means a lot to us right now. Big buyer on Bed Bath & Beyond right now, but it doesn't matter. We're getting ready to close. All right, here we go, man. It's only 20 seconds until we ring that bell. So I like that. Pretty stylish jacket there. I like that.
It
Katrine.
is.
I need to get myself one of those. All right, here we go. Only 10 seconds left. I probably own a jean jacket. Oh, we got that as the background there. Yeah, that's okay. You can stand up tall there. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1.
Boom.
There it
Should
is.
get the music going.
Katrine, you like the Eagles or the Chiefs?
Chiefs.
Patriots.
Are you kidding me? No, are you serious?
She just said
Are
Patriots.
you actually serious? No, you really like the Patriots?
Only to annoy my uncle who was
That's just as bad.
She said she likes it to annoy people, but that's fine. All right, thank you so
She annoyed
much
me by saying that.
for all of that. Yeah, I feel you guys on the chat there. All right, let's move on off that Patriots comment there because you don't want to get too tilted on that. But,
the tuxedo comment. A Canadian tuxedo is like jean jacket and jean pants or jeans. That's what everyone knows.
She gone. Yeah, you're right, John. She gone. She out of there right now. But unfortunately, I have to film.
Chiefs.
Yeah, I have to film a few things. I'm going to be here for a bit. But ban on TikTok. I just saw some notes on that, so we'll see about Meta. But all right, we talked about the market getting back to Greensville. Did we mean NASDAQ or did we mean ES? Did we mean the oil markets? Did we mean Brazil? Did we mean Milan? Who knows?
Let's go to the board, but I'm doing this.
Yeah, let's go over to the board with Brendan, and he'll explain all the major markets and what those moves were up to today.
I mean, obviously it was Brazil, right? 0.64, didn't quite get there for the NASDAQ guys, but positive. Yeah, nice bounce back there into the close for the S&P. Gets to positive territory on the day. Not, however, on the week. The Dow was the only one on the week that was positive. The NASDAQ red as well. But there you go, final look. 2.25 for oil. Pretty positive on that Russian headline.
Most things are up. Most of the market was up there.
Yeah, most of the market was up. It was a good day. I know the answer to this question, but it's kind of like, why do we even have Brazil on there? Like, I know the question is more like because it closes at the same time as us and all that kind of stuff, but it's kind of like, I don't know.
Well, I thought the idea was that.
I think it's just more for fun at this point.
Well, what else would you put on? I mean, I don't know if you got rid of it. You know what you could do? You could put another crypto on there, or
or we could put.
It's simply because there was one more spot, and we had to fill it.
Well, we put the Dow up there, and no one gives a rat's ass about the Dow anymore, right? I mean, let's be real.
Well, the thing is, when most people go home and they're on the subway and they're talking with people, people want to know what the Brazilian market's been doing.
Yeah, often.
So the B3.
Like we're old and we don't even pay attention to the Dow.
That's probably why.
I don't know. It's weird.
Probably why. All right, man. What a great day. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining us. We will have the trade of the day. It's AMD. It's one in, and then you can see that we did trade AMD near the end of the day as well. But hey, everyone, man, enjoy the Super Bowl, no matter who you're cheering for.
Chiefs.
As Lucas says, enjoy it with good friends and family, and that's all that really matters. I feel like someone just dropped water back there again, as long as it wasn't on our keyboard. Oh,
that was my bad.
So my daughter saw me showing her art again here.
Is there more?
And there is more. So I have a couple things here. So this is the first one.
Abstract.
It's hard to see. This is more just waves. So it's kind of, oh, there you go. That's better there. You can see a little bit there. But then the more important one.
She's got to sign that.
She does sign it. It's in the bottom.
Oh, I see it. No,
It looks like moving averages.
I can see
Moving
it. I see
averages, yeah, these are moving averages, yeah, so just buy and sell the dips and stuff like that. But this is the more important one right here, so. Come on, man, I'm just gonna rip this. I got,
Hold it. You got to hold it,
I know, it's
tilt
hard to,
it.
no, it's because of the lights. There.
There you go. Now you can see
It
it.
says, so it's Green Bay. It's the Green Bay colors. So
Oh,
she wrote
that's
this, and you
sweet.
can see it there. But I told her the saying is "Go Pack Go."
Go Pack, go.
But she remembered
that's
"Go
fine.
Green Bay Go."
That's
so right
fine.
there.
That's-
So I want to thank you, Gia, for all of that. And now I have some more things I have to read.
It's sweet when
It's because- it's
when
because
she
of it.
supports the same team as you do instead of
She
trolling.
doesn't actually, though, but she
Oh, really?
does. She supports Miami Dolphins because when we went to Miami, Miami's her favorite city now.
Yeah.
So she is a Miami Dolphins. But Green Bay played Miami in Week 16, and Green Bay whooped their ass. So
Okay, but I
so
mean-
she kind of turned for that day, but she's back
Yeah.
on the Tua bandwagon. But I hope the well for Tua. I hope Tua can play next year for sure. Brendan's like, what the hell are you guys talking about? But
Whatever we
all
want,
right,
Brendan.
let's move on that one there. All right, so anyways, enjoy the Super Bowl. I think we're all going to be watching it,
Go
so that
Chiefs.
should be fun there. Go Eagles versus Chiefs. We'll have some bets going on there. We have some fun days. So thank you, everybody. Thanks for the midday. Thanks, Obi, man. Obi filled in there for Sharif kind of last minute there. So thank you, Obi, for that
There he
one right
is.
there over Neil's
He's right there.
shoulder there. So big thanks to that. Proudly's been doing a great job as well. People asking for him.
What are
He's
you
here.
doing, bro?
There he is.
Clorox.
I was wondering about that Clorox thing. 'cause
This
you had it
Fahad
last
moment
time.
brought to you by Clorox.
Yeah, Fahad's. Yeah, Fahad. I don't know where that.
I don't
came-
know what. Sometimes
Is he trying
it's
to get a
just-
sponsorship going on there? Or is that Procter and Gamble? Oh, Clorox is their own company.
mean,
So. All right. Let's wrap this thing up. It's 4:05. We got places to be in. It's not here, so we'll see you on Monday at 8:30. For everybody here at Trader TV Live, Sean, Neil, and Brendan, we're back 8:30. Have a good weekend.